Welcome to the SVC Game of the Week, presented to you by Tomlinson Insurance.
They've got a tall task ahead of them tonight. This is a team that could be playing Week 13, and tonight's an interesting matchup with Columbus East out of the City League.
It is. You look at these two teams tonight, and there's a lot of similarities between them. You know, first of all, Unioto is 10-0, and Columbus East is 10-1. Their one loss came in Week 2 to Whitehall Yearling. You look at both offenses. Unioto is averaging just over 46 points a game. Columbus East, 33.8 points per game. Defensively, Unioto is only giving up 4 points per game this year, Greg. That's really impressive. I think they're going to need that tonight. Columbus East giving up a little over 11 points per game. But you look at these teams, and they both have a bunch of home run hitters. And I think tonight what's going to be the difference is which team can hit those home runs, because they both have the capability to do that. You look at Unioto, you got Jackson Zicafus out on the outside. Every time he touches the ball, it's electric, right? You never know how many tackles he's going to break. Is he going to outrun somebody? You just never know what's going to happen when he touches the ball. Cody Braden should be back healthy tonight. They got the bye. He got the extra week of rest. They're going to need him. You got David Long, Braden Harsha, Levi Beam, Jack Welch. Unioto's got athletes all over the field. And I think tonight when they play Columbus East, this is probably going to be the most athletic team that they've played.
St. Trace is athletic, but a different way.
It is. It's a different type of athletic.
Yes.
Columbus East, they're 10-1. They play in the City League, right? And so they got a couple really, really nice players. And I think you got to start with, Tajon Royster. Plays running back for him, carries the football. He also goes out to wide receiver. He's got 87 carries for over 600 yards this year, 5 rushing touchdowns. He also has 38 receptions and over 650 receiving yards with 6 touchdown passes. So he's going to be a name we say a lot tonight. Their quarterback, D.R. Hansard. Yes, Hansard. There we go. 57.
He's only a sophomore.
Yeah. Sophomore, 57% completion rate. He's thrown 20 touchdown passes this year, 8 interceptions. He's really quick with his feet, too. He's quick. He's elusive. Look for him to run the ball some. You got Darian Matlock, 63 carries this year, over 350 yards. And they've got 3 guys who've carried the ball more than 50 times this year. So it's going to be a really, really nice game. I think it's going to be an interesting game. Both teams very athletic. Last year, in the first half and the playoffs, Unioto played, I can't remember which team it was. They were right with them at halftime. I think it was like a 1 or 2 point game. Maybe an missed extra point was the difference. And when you play a team like this, you don't have any common opponents. It's what happens at halftime. What can you make some adjustments? When can your defense figure out what they're really trying to do? What can we do to slow them down? What can we do to stop them? And that might be the biggest difference tonight. But just watching the teams warm up down here, I kind of feel good about Unioto, to be honest with you. They look a little bit bigger. The key is to not let Columbus East hit the home run. And I think that's the one strength that Unioto's had all year long. Obviously, they're scoring over 46 points a game. But to me, the most impressive thing is they're only giving up 4 points a game.
Yeah, Jaron, as I looked and you try to prepare, it's just – you can watch on film, and I think the same way. You're going to have to feel each other out. You don't know. Look, the first thing I thought of is Columbus East, I think, only had 2 wins against a team with a winning record.
That's right.
Then I looked, and they played one of the teams they did beat was Lyndon McKinley.
Yes.
And I saw Lyndon McKinley went to the wire with Bloom Carroll, who's a solid co-champs to the Mid-State. So that tells – but, again, you can compare scores, and you look on paper. You don't quite know for sure, but I think your point. Don't give up the home run. I think Unioto looks a little stronger and bigger if they don't turn it over. Looking out, it looked like Columbus East only has about 30 or 31 kids here on the roster playing. So you don't know.
Right.
Again, you can't turn it over. Don't give up the big play. Easier said than done, but I think the Shermans hopefully have a good matchup tonight. We're going to take a quick timeout. You're listening to the Tomlinson Insurance SVC Playoff Game of the Week.
employees certainly get the credit for that growth. The relationships that they build, people want to deal with people they can trust, they know, feel connected to. And I think that's where a community bank such as Kingston really shines. The color of money is the same no matter where you go, but I think the people behind it is what makes the difference. Having the empathy to understand what's going on in someone's business or personal lives and how you might be able to help it. I think our customers expect that, want that, and truthfully, they deserve that.
Integrity. It's a small word with a big meaning, and it's one we hold dear at Ross County Banking Center. That means we work hard every day to do what's right, even when no one's looking. We treat people the way we want to be treated, volunteer in our communities, and keep a watchful eye to safeguard our customers. At Ross County Banking Center, we strive to do that better every day. Find more information on our website, vcnbfamily.bank, or visit one of our physical locations. Member FDIC.
It takes determination to create a successful business. It's never easy, but always worth it. It takes making a leap of faith. It takes patience and late nights to reinvest in a startup. But it also takes asking for guidance from dependable people, all to turn a dream into a reality. People's Bank, working together, building success.
You've been watching SVC Game of the Week, presented to you by Tomlinson Insurance.
Unioto band finishing up their alma mater and their national anthem moments ago. The winner of this one advances to meet the winner of New Lexington and Fairfield Union. New Lex is the #1 seed in the region. However, I tell you what, I would not be a bit surprised. Fairfield Union has played well in the last half of the season. They've got a great defense. And the schools are not too far apart over there. So the winner, I think whichever team wins, and if the Shermans are fortunate enough
and Bryce Johnson only had, I think 51 rushing yards. And if you would have told me before that game that Bryce Johnson had 51 rushing yards, there's no way Zane Trace would have won that game. But, Grady Stewart, Jaden Higgins, Hudson Williams, those guys all had. You go into the playoffs, if you have a ball control type offense and a good defense, I think those are the two things that are important. And Zane Trace, they have those two things. That Bryce Johnson back there running the football, him and Jaden Higgins make a good 1-2 punch. Gunnar McCullough's shown that he's capable of throwing the ball. And Mason Hartley had a couple big catches last week. And I eluding them, in their high school career has been that playoff win. And I just kind of got that sense tonight when I walked in. You could just see that concentration on their face as I was watching their warm-ups down there, the intensity. I just have this feeling they are locked in and they're going to get it done tonight. And they need to get that monkey off their back. And, you know, sometimes people don't like to talk about it, and I'm sure Coach Hoops maybe feels a little bit of that pressure or whatever because they've been so dominant in the SVC. This is the one thing people have been talking about, and I think tonight they're going to get it done. I think if they just play their game, you know, they got to stay composed, right? They got to take care of the football. You know, Cody Braden, run the football, play good defense. I just have a really, really good feeling about this game tonight for the Shermans.
No doubt about it. And, you know, Jaron and people who follow the sport, and you think all the years, and, of course, I was surprised first time they ever finished 10-0. They've had undefeated seasons.
Right.
But you're talking about that monkey in your back in playoffs. But over the years, now you have what, 7 divisions?
Seven divisions.
You know, years ago, there were, 3 or 4?
Yes.
And so you made the playoffs, but all of a sudden you might have to play Cincinnati, Indiana. I don't know why I keep thinking that. I know a school that's bigger
Right.
from a different region that maybe in that case plays in the Cincinnati Catholic League or City League of Cincinnati, or maybe someone in the Dayton area that's played, and you run into those teams.
Yes.
It's now, and one of the reasons the OHSA did that, you split 7 divisions, and you got a team that we know nothing about, Columbus East. We said the winner is New Lexington versus Fairfield Union. And all of a sudden, those are schools somewhat like you.
Yes.
And I think that's made a difference, and it's a great – and with the Shermans, one of their best teams they've had. I agree with you. They have a great opportunity tonight. Both teams looking to come back out. And I thought we weren't going to have a great crowd, but the Unioto crowd has really filled in. And part of that is it quit raining,
Yes.
and people able to come out, and that's the good news. On the other side, Columbus East, for a while, there was only about 15 people, but might have doubled to about 30. But I'm sure they don't travel real well, but quite a few people now moved over to the other side from the Tigers of Columbus East. Sherman's getting ready to come back on the field, so as Columbus East. Right now, the officials in the middle of the field, and we're just about set for playoff action here from the home of the Shermans. You're listening to the Tomlinson Insurance SVC Playoff Game of the Week, and we'll be back with tonight's opening kickoff right after this.
Stressed? Overstimulated? Smash it out at Recreations. Rec plates in our rage room, fling paint in the splatter zone, then strike a pose in the selfie studio. Chaos, creativity, and content. Let's get messy.
Looking for a job that works with your life? Your local McDonald's is now hiring. Join a team that's all about flexibility, growth, and a fun, fast-paced work environment.
At McDonald's, we're more than just burgers. We're part of the community. From supported local events to helping neighbors in need, we're proud to give back.
Apply today at your local Chillicothe or Waverly McDonald's or McHire.com. We'd love to have you on the team.
Ba-dum-bum-bum-bum. I'm loving it.
Learn to drive with confidence at Legacy Driver In-Person Training School in Jackson, Ohio. Teen or adult lessons, we have you covered. Call 740-418-0930 for all your driving school needs today.
You've been watching SVC Game of the Week, presented to you by Tomlinson Insurance.
$30 seconds.
Okay.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Back almost set for tonight's opening kickoff. Unioto winning the toss. They elected to defer, and Columbus East will take the football. The Tigers will have it first. And I get an interesting comment that Jaron in his preparation there that he made. Kind of noticed it, but Jaron brought a little more to light. And you don't know. I mean, it's also week number 12, and East did play last week in week 11 to get here tonight. But I thought it was an interesting comment. A lot of their key positions, including quarterback, sophomores, and I don't know how that'll play out tonight. But I thought that was a big point. We shall see. They played all year long, but still, sometimes under the lights they're away tonight. They're not used. They've never been here before, and with a couple key people being sophomores, that would be interesting.
Yeah, I think so too. I think Columbus East is going to be a really tough matchup. Maybe make a big run maybe next year or the year after, right? They got a bunch of underclassmen out there, but you just look at them. I mean, they got a couple, big kids out there, but they don't look like they're physically overwhelming, like they're just going to completely outmatch Unioto physically. And then you just look at their numbers. Their numbers aren't very big either. The one thing you got to bear with us tonight, folks, is
I was going to say that
Columbus East has orange numbers on their white jerseys, and they're
not outlined either.
Yeah, they're a little difficult to see, and we'll do our best.
Yeah,
we'll just leave it at that.
Paul, if we happen to have some listeners in the Columbus East side that there we go. If we have any listeners in, we try to identify as quickly as possible. But again, the Columbus East, and they're, of course, orange and black, but they do are white jerseys, orange numbers, and no outline. And those light orange numbers are very difficult to see, so we shall see how it goes. Again, Unioto elected to defer. East will get the football to start the football game. Here in playoff action. Again, the winner plays the winner. The winner of this one plays the winner of tonight's game over at New Lex with New Lex and Fairfield Union.
I think that you look at, you said Fairfield Union's been playing a lot better. But, I think it's important to note that you kind of alluded to it a couple of times, Greg. That's not a school that, just completely – I think either one of those schools would completely outclass Unioto, right? It's local teams. And you talk about just the evolution of the playoffs. It just seemed like 20 years ago when I was in high school, 25 years ago, it was only 4 teams per region, right? And it was tough to get in, right?
Absolutely.
And now, they put it back down to 12 this year, but it was 16 teams per region last year. So, we're going to be, I think we're going to be for a good game tonight. This is really the first week. It's not raining right now, but this is the first time we've had rain on a Friday night. The field looks like it's in pretty good condition, kind of a little muddy, in between the 20 and 40, maybe on both sides. And, we'll see if that affects any of the traction. I don't know if the field conditions will bother either team tonight. It may, maybe a kid slips and falls and somebody hits a home run off of it. But I think overall the field looks in pretty good shape.
Obviously, one of the big weapons Unioto we didn't talk about, but their kicker, Liam Matthews, is a great job kicking. And he's got it now. If you kick it in the end zone, they start at the 20, but you may not want to kick it deep. I know one of them, I believe Royster that Jaron talked about, one of their top performers, running back, wide receiver, is back standing about his 9. So we'll see what Unioto elects to do. Will they pooch kick it on the ground, or try to kick it all the way to the end zone? We're set to go. We're underway with playoff football, and Matthew does kick it on the ground, bouncing down the middle of the field, be picked up at the 21-yard line, out to the 25. Not much running room. Very effective kickoff for the Shermans as they elected to put it on the ground. Yeah, and it worked out very well.
It did work out. You could tell, Liam Matthew, he intentionally kicked that ball low, kept it on the ground, and good coverage right there by the Shermans. The guy picked it up and basically just kind of dove forward as he picked up a couple yards. And
might have been Matlock that picked it up, and they're only going to have to start out at their 26-yard line.
Yep, 26-yard line. So this is kind of what I want to see. This has been Unioto's bread and butter all year. Their defense been the name of the game. Let's see how they match up against this Columbus East offense.
So the Tigers come out
5 wide
with a single quarterback and the shotgun pistol itself. He takes it, goes back, that's right off the bat, looking deep, down over the middle, overthrows his man, down at about the 45. So they open it wide up to start out the football game, and pretty good coverage by the Shermans.
Yeah, 3 receivers to the left right there, 2 to the right for East, and Unioto matched up with them one-on-one, man-to-man on the outside, and had 5 DBs out there, and they kept 2 linebackers in there. It looks like they're running a little bit of a quarterback spy. So nobody's deep, protecting the home run ball for Unioto.
Hansard again, the quarterback. Hansard all by himself, puts a man in motion, and he'll hand it off to Royster around the right side, 26, maybe get near the 30. Turned it up, and maybe got 4 yards, 26 to the 30. Only going to spot him at the 29. It's called a 3-yard pickup, and right away it's 3rd and 7 for the East Tigers.
Yep.
Shermans did a good job staying in their positions. They turned the ball back inside, and the linebackers were there to fill.
Yeah, good discipline right there by the defensive ends. Not necessarily worried about getting the tackle, making him cut it right back up the middle where the 2 linebackers were.
Coming to this side, I believe, is Matlock. They've got 2 receivers to the left. Now a running back with the quarterback. Hansard throws a quick out to the 31, trying to get loose, but not to. Now taken down. No room. They brought the second man out shallow into the flats, but Unioto covered it very well. Only a couple yards on the pickup, and pickup out to about the 33. They're going to be short by a couple 3 yards, and it'll be 4th down. And the Tigers would assume that they will punt the football.
That was Daquan Lindsey on the catch. And, Columbus East has their punting team out on the field, and Jackson Zickafoos is deep waiting for it for Unioto.
Line of scrimmage at 33. Snap back and take a little bit of time. Now the kick away, pretty good kick. Zickafoos takes it at the 38. Zickafoos to the 40, to the outside, to midfield, and brought down. It closed up pretty quickly there on the coverage. But Zickafoos from the 38, about a 10-yard return, and Sherman's going to have good field position on the first offensive possession.
Yeah, he had that was a nice return. He caught that ball. Nice job on the outside blocking by the Unioto defensive back. There was a big hole right there. I think if Zickafoos that tackle, he could have taken that one back to the house. Regardless, Unioto starting in really good field position here at their own 49-yard line.
Here we go. Zickafoos and Beam come split way out to the right side. Your quarterback, of course, is Isaac Coy. Braden back in the running back spot. There's actually 2 running backs, and they'll put second man through and down immediately. Nowhere to go. Great closure by the East Tigers. First man there appeared to be Shamarion Coleman, 185-pound linebacker. He closed it up. They actually went quarterback under center, 2 running backs, and a power run there.
Yeah, nice job by the D-line. Coleman comes in. He averages over 6 tackles a game for Columbus East, and nice job by the D-line right there.
Maybe a half yard on the pickup. They send Welch out to the right this time. 2 receivers go to the left. They do go back to the pistol formation. Coy. Now Beam goes in motion and stops. Coy looks out, and Coy will hand it to Braden. 50, 48 of Columbus East, but not a whole lot. So far, the first 2 carries, something we thought maybe the offensive line a little bit bigger for Unioto if they could pound it, but here in the first 2 runs, East has closed the holes pretty quickly, and it brings up a 3rd and 7. A yard on first down, maybe 2 on second down for Braden, and now 3rd and 7.
It's a better run right there for Braden. I think maybe going from the shotgun kind of helped a little bit, but Coy's back under center here on 3rd and 6.
Now they go to an I formation. And they will fake it, run a play-action pass. Coy looking, throws to the sideline. Got a man. Did he stay in? I think it's Beam.
Levi Beam.
And he got his feet down at the 38 of East, first down. Nice job by Levi Beam. Coy had to throw the ball high to get it over the defenders. So you had to get it over top of the linebackers, and he had to drop it down in. And then going up in the air was Beam, but he caught the ball in the air when he came down. He made sure his feet were in bounds, and a first down, Shermans.
That was a really nice pass by Coy. The Columbus East defender was kind of between Coy and Beam in a straight line, and Coy had to put a little bit of air under the ball, and a nice touch pass right there to keep Levi in bounds.
That's our first down of the night. 9 minutes to go, just underway in the first quarter. Sherman's on their first drive at the East 37. Second man through, Braden, 2-3 yards, falls from the 37 maybe to the 34. See where he went down at. And again, Braden, as we've talked a lot, Cody's able to, that looked like a 2-yard gain, and he turned it into a 3 or 4 yard gain because he's able to fall forward.
Yeah, that's what I like about Cody. He's always finishing his runs going forward.
Isaac comes over halfway to the sidelines, gets the call. Second down and 7. Sherman's up over the football. David Long is your other back. And so far, Long has been in normal split backfield here. They go back under center. Braden, second man through, breaks to the outside, 31-30, falls forward, and he's very close to a first down. Nice read of his blocks. He kind of came in a counter off tackle, then broke it a little bit outside, and he's very near first down.
He did a really good job right there of having some patience, staying behind his polling guard, number 56. That was Glenn Stottridge, I believe.
Yes.
And staying right behind him, kind of using his hand to guide him and falling forward. A nice 6-yard run right there.
3rd and 1. He is short of the first down. They're at the 28, need to go to the 27. They go back with Isaac Coy under center, 2 running backs, a close flanker in. They'll go straight ahead to Braden, or Long, rather. Long's got the first down. Needed 1. He got 2 or 3. Just a quick handoff. Long was very near his quarterback in the under center formation, almost the old style fullback position, and it's a first down. They say his knee touched at the 26. That's still enough for a first down.
You know, usually you see David Long playing in that tight end spot like the wing back. He's been in that fullback tonight, and maybe that's something that Coach Hoop saw on tape that he really liked, and it's worked here early for Unioto.
It looks like they want to run the ball. They want to keep possession. They don't want East to have the football. So far, so good, and they keep Isaac Coy under center in a tight formation. Only 1 wide receiver. First man through and looking for yardage. Now running backwards is Braden. That looked like a gain of 0 turned into 3 or 4. He kind of got turned sideways and was able to back his way and stay on his feet. East couldn't get him down, and Braden probably should have been a 1-yard gain, and he got 4.
Yep, Unioto's doing a much better job here on these last few runs of really blocking. You know, there's a guy on the defensive line named Marquez Maddox for East, has 20 sacks on the year. That's probably another reason why they're running the football a lot.
They move runner over to a tight end position. Now they're going to go wide with it, and losing his footing is Braden. He got around the corner, looked like he might have a little bit of room, but he lost his footing, was able to fall forward, but it's going to bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, 3rd and about 3. I think that had a big play, maybe even a touchdown written all over it, Greg. Just kind of lost his footing when he planted to take off right there.
The 3rd down, certainly in 4-down territory. I mean, you got a great field goal kicker in Matthew, but it probably depends a little here. But 3rd and 4, get 2 yards each time. You got the first down. They're going to save that tight running formation. East really right up near center. Now the quarterback keeps, and Coy gets down near the 15. I think he got a first down.
I think he got a first down, too. They're stopping the clock, and I think they're going to go ahead and move the chains.
Coy was able to fake the handoff. They went with that tight formation.
Actually, they're going to measure. This is something we did not see last week at Lucasville Valley.
Yeah, last week's crew it said, hey, it's a first down or it isn't. We're not measuring, but the point of the football is almost at the 15. That would give him a first down, but now they're not quite at the 15, so we shall see.
Looks like we're going to have an official's timeout. They're going to bring the chains out.
And I think that's the right thing to do. We talked about that. I wasn't picking on last week's crew, but they were very quick to, our Zane Trace Lucasville Valley game.
But it's important at this level, Greg, that you get the call right. You know, you get, second week into the playoffs, obviously you have 2 pretty good football teams if you're getting to the second week of the playoffs. The most important thing is getting all your calls right.
So they bring the chains out. If they don't make it, they still got another down. That was 3rd down, and the carry by Coy. Faked the handoff and then just kind of carried it outside a bit off his right tackle.
I think I got it.
It is a first down.
You know, they've done a nice job here of running the football. It's important that they finish this drive off with points. You know, we're already past halfway through the first quarter. 5 minutes, 50 seconds left. They've got 3 first downs. They need to finish this drive off with points.
Joining us late, Columbus East took the opening kickoff, did not get a first down, punted. Unioto began this drive at their own 49. They're at the 15. New set of down. The second man through, breaks to the outside, 15. Now the 10, and inside the 10 near the 8. Braden, the ball carrier, that time off right tackle, a little bit of a counter again, and then he broke it outside. Pretty good gain of 5 or 6 yards. See where his knee went down. Yeah, just inside the 10, so good pickup. Let's call it 2nd down and 4. Give Cody Braden 6 on that.
I'm really liking Cody Braden's patience right now. He's not sprinting as soon as he gets it. And, you know, Bryce Johnson does the same thing for Zane Trace. He sees where the holes are. He sees where his blockers are going. Nice job by Braden right here.
They spot it at the 9. They can get a first down, of course. Up under center, Isaac Coy, second down. And quickly straight ahead, Braden, and got his feet kind of knocked out from underneath him. And again, was able to fall forward. But he's only going to go from the 9 to these, just inside the 8. Going to bring up third down. They need to reach just at the 5, just almost at the 5, about the 5.5 for a first down. So about a yard to go, yard and a half for the Shermans, and third down coming up. They've only thrown the ball once. That was on third and fairly long on third down on the start this drive, and they completed it to Beam.
You know, some people talk about balance and, you know, throwing and running. Unioto's had good balance of running the ball outside, on tackle, right up the middle so far, keeping that East defense off balance so they don't know where the run is coming.
Now we got a timeout. And Unioto wanted to change things up. They were going to go to a pistol formation. That gives me a chance to remind you, since we're in the early gone, of our great sponsors, still bringing you SVC coverage and playoff football here on the home of the SVC, WXIZ, Tomlinson Insurance, your local McDonald's restaurants, Ross County Banking Center, Chillicothe Signs and Screen Printing, Greenwald Lawn and Landscaping, The Lunchbox, Recreations, Kingston National Bank, Monroe's Collision, and one of our newer sponsors, Quality Heat and Air of Bainbridge. By the way, we'll tell, I think everyone expected it, but working now on a schedule, and we will be covering SVC basketball.
Absolutely.
Right now, our plans will cover a game every Tuesday and Friday night of the boys' season. And then I think we've got a game or two in December for girls, but we'll probably at least have 6 girls' games as well, and pretty much cover the second half of their schedule. All right here on the home of the SVC, Hank FM. The Unioto wanted to talk it over. They send Zickafoos wide to the right. Wide receiver, actually wide left. The receiver to left. They want to go back to the pistol on third and short with Isaac Coy. Only Braden behind him. And they will hand it to Braden straight ahead to the 5, to the 4, and I think he's got a first down inside the 5 to the 4.
That was a great block right there by David Long. He kind of lined up like a wing back, but he was behind the guard, and Cody Braden went right behind him to pick up 4 yards and another Unioto first down, and it's first and goal inside the 5-yard line here for the Shermans.
Spotted out to 4. So you got 4 cracks at it to get 4 yards and get on the board. We're under 4 minutes to play first quarter. Unioto with a long, sustained drive here on their first possession. They go back to the pistol. And they'll go Braden again. 4-3, pushes forward, getting some help from his offensive line. Did not get in, but he's near the goal line. Mark it at the 1. 3 yards for Cody Braden. And it's second and goal from the 1.
I'd say you keep handing number 20 the ball right now. He's
dance with the one that brought you, right?
Absolutely. Looks to be like he's a man on a mission, and I know we're talking about Braden a lot, but, man, you got to give a lot of credit to this Unioto offensive line, too.
Yeah, and they use David Long so well. As you said, he's a running back, but he's almost like a guard or tackle right behind him. Here we go. Second and goal from the 1. Braden one more time, and he got cut out. Good job from the corner. Coming in from the side was Darian Matlock from Columbus East. He came from the outside corner. He shot from the outside and got to Braden before he got going, and they lose a yard back to the 2.
Yeah, that was a nice little blitz right there by Columbus East on the defensive line. And, you know, really a big hit right there. We want to give this collision of the game to a Unioto player, but that was a big hit right there by
Luke Howard comes in. They're going to put him up in that right behind as well. They can really bunch it up. On 3rd and 2, straight ahead, direct snap to Braden, and into the end zone, touchdown. Actually, what they did, they took the quarterback, Isaac Coy, out of the game, brought Howard in. They had 3 running backs. It was a direct snap from Wildcat to Cody Braden, and he had 3 running backs, being Howard, and long in front of him along with the offensive line, and a 2-yard touchdown run, and the Shermans are on the board. Well-conceived play.
That was, and that was a really good drive. That was about an 8 or 9 minute drive right there.
Yeah, 51 yards.
51 yards, and that's the formula for Unioto tonight.
Matthews' extra point attempt, and high enough, and it did get through the uprights. It is good. Timeout on the field. 2:23 to play first quarter. The Shermans take the first lead of the ball game. Unioto 7, Columbus East 0. You're listening to the Tomlinson Insurance SVC Game of the Week.
Learn to drive with confidence at Legacy Driver In-Person Training School in Jackson, Ohio. Teen or adult lessons, we have you covered. Call 740-418-0930 for all your driving school needs today.
Craving something unique and delicious? Swing by the Lunchbox and Chill Coffee, home of the famous pretzel sandwich. You'll love our all-day breakfast favorites, from hearty breakfast croissants to sausage gravy and omelet. And don't miss our fresh lemonade shake-ups, perfect to sip alongside any meal. Sink your teeth into our signature pretzel sandwiches like the savory Italian, loaded turkey club, or mouth-watering Reuben. We are right downtown at 24 East Water Street, ready for dine-in or quick carry-out.
Oh, my mower won't start. I know what to do. Take it to Matheny's Small Engine Repair, located on Savageville School Road in between Jackson and Chillicothe. Matheny's is now an official Encore dealer with both new commercial and residential models on display. They'll get you up and mowing.
You've been watching SVC Game of the Week, presented to you by Tomlinson Insurance.
3 and out, punted. Nice little return by Zikafus to 10 yards. Started at the 49 and a 51-yard touchdown drive. Only one pass out of all those plays. And Mr. Braden scores the touchdown from 2 yards out. Kick good by Matthews. 7-0 Shermans, and they'll kick it off.
Yeah, really a nice drive by Unioto right there. Cody Braden, 35 yards rushing on that first drive.
Last time Sherman's kicked it on the ground, and this time they're going to kick it deep. High, end over end. It's going to go over the head of the East Tigers into the end zone.
Yeah, that was, East was expecting the little line drive kick, and, Matthew showed him what leg he has and sent it over their head, and East is going to start at the 20-yard line on the touchback.
So Tigers with their second possession. Dior Hansard, their quarterback, who I told you earlier, 6'1", sophomore. Obviously very good also at getting loose running with the football. As Jaron mentioned, the first series, they only ran 3 plays. It looked like the Shermans were keeping a spy on him. He tried to throw deep on first down. So they'll send White out to the left. That's Darian Matlock. 1st and 10 from the 22nd possession for the Tigers. Hansford hands it off around the right side, 20, 25, out to the 30, across the 30 to the 32. First big play of the night for the East Tigers on a sweep around the right side. I think that was Edwards.
Number
That's
5?
6? I think it was 6, Dominique Edwards. Okay. He's also a sophomore. He is one of their leading rushers along with Royster. So as far as the East Tigers, first time they've gotten going a little bit. They from the 20 out to the 32, 12-yard pickup, and it's this new set of downs for the Tigers. Hands to the quarterback, one running back. He's in the pistol. Looks, throws quick to the outside, got his man to the 35, to the 40. And another pickup near first down of maybe about 8 or 9 yards. Just a quick pass to the outside, quick hitch pattern, and close to the first down. It's going to be out to around the 39. 8 yards on the pickup, 2nd and 2 for East.
Yeah, that was just a real quick out. Who caught that pass?
I did not see. On the far side.
Might have been number 4. Matlock is over there this time. We're going to give it to Matlock.
Again, pistol formation, single running back. Beside Hansard. Second down and 2. Hansard back to pass again. Looking, wants to go deep down the right side. Got a man open. He dived. He had it and he dropped it. Nice pass by the sophomore Hansard. The receiver dove, had it in his hands when he hit the ground. And again, that was Matlock. Matlock had it when he hit the ground. He couldn't hang on to it. Not that coverage, but almost a perfect pass on these. That time they faked a quick out and sent him deep down the sidelines. He had about maybe a step on the Sherman's secondary, but couldn't pull it in, and now you're down to 3rd and 2 from their own 38, 39-yard line, about halfway between.
He had him open right there, just kind of a little bit inside on the pass and made him dive for it right there.
Again, single running back, Hansford throws, looks, puts it to the outside, got his man 40, breaks the tackle to the 45, down the sidelines 50. Unioto territory, and he goes out of bounds on the quick out pattern, complete to John Royster. So, Royster.
It's an 18-yard play right there. Really nice job by Royster out in the open field of breaking the tackle. Yeah, and once he broke that first tackle, he picked up a total of 18 yards, and that's what we're talking about. East can be very explosive. Unioto's got to be very disciplined on their tackling.
43 of Unioto, first down. The Tigers. Hansford, the quarterback, by himself now. 5 wide receivers. It's for back to pass. Looks, throws to the sideline. Got a man wide open, 32. 30 down to the Unioto 24-yard line. Another first down. Nice pattern by the Tigers. They ran it down and in, and I think that was a connection to Downing Sawyer.
Yeah, that was a nice, really just a nice in route right there, and he was wide open, and I don't know if there was some confusion right there on the Unioto defense.
Going hurry up over the middle, complete again down to the 15-yard line. Just a quick look-in pattern, and East going very quickly. They're getting to the line of scrimmage, and now Shermans are going to get a substitute in. But they're going hurry up, and they go out again. 5 wide receivers. The quarterback, Hansford to quarterback. Second down, they get 8 yards. 2nd and 2, close to the 15 of Unioto, and now a whistle.
I think we got a timeout.
Unioto might have called. No, Unioto called timeout. They got to get the defense settled here, as all of a sudden East causing problems going quick, going with 5 wide receivers, and the completions are at the 16. It'll be 2nd down and 2. Unioto leads at 7-0. We're very near the end of the first quarter, 55 seconds remaining here in the first period. We'll try to get some scores against Zane Trace or other SVC teams still in the playoff hunt at Columbus Academy. Interesting game.
Check.
We'll see, but a repeat of the FAC top 2 teams, Miami Trace.
Yeah, we're trying
playing at Jackson.
Yeah, I'm trying to get some scores right now. Jackson, Miami Trace tied at 7.
I think that game I think it's hard to come right back and beat a team a second time when you only played them a couple of weeks ago. We'll see. Jackson certainly loaded, but 7-7 in that one.
Indian Valley up 7-0 on Circleville, and Columbus Academy up 6-0 on Zane Trace.
Thank you, Jaron. 2nd down and 2 after the Unioto timeout. Calling signals. Hansford looks, throws over the middle again and let his man a little bit too much. It'll bring up 3rd and 2. Dior Hansford, again, listed at 6'1", a sophomore. He's done that was not quite as good a pass, but several of his throws have been right on the mark.
Check 1, 2, 3.
Now 2nd down and 2.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, that was, I think Unioto may have got away with a little bit of a hold right there. Kind of seeing a hold on the back of the jersey, but 3rd and 2, and it's a big play right here.
Now they'll go back. They've been going 5 wide. Now they'll bring a running back out of the pistol with Hansford, and he has a run right off his right hip. Now he puts a man in motion also to the right. They'll fake it, come back to the left on the run, and nowhere to go.
Nice job by number 57 for Unioto. That's Bryce Jarvis. Big tackle by Bryce Jarvis.
He stayed home. They ran a counterplay. They faked it to the man in motion to the right. He gave it back on the counter to the left. And they actually lose a yard instead of now it's 3rd and 2. Now it's 4th and 3. Good penetration by that defense. As Jaron said, Jarvis was the first man to get there. Did not follow the guy, the man in motion to the right, stayed home and made the tackle. Big play here. East has driven right down the field, and now 4th and 3. Dior Hansford proud up on their feet on the other side. He'll keep running back, stays in the pistol. 2 receivers to the left, including Matlock. Snap. They look to Matlock. They still look. Across the middle. Did he catch it? Immediate defense and a great pass at the 5 first down Tigers. Was great coverage by the Shermans, but the sophomore quarterback put that right on the nose.
Yeah.
Do we have a flag or got a conversation?
Yeah, we do have a flag. May have been a holding. Chop block. Ooh, a chop block. That's a big penalty.
Huge penalty. Tigers got the first down on the completion over the middle of the 5.
Wow, 15-yard penalty.
So that's a huge. Remember, mark that one down in your charts of this ball game with East Tigers answering Unioto touchdown, driving down the field, a completed pass to the 5-yard line. And now a 15-yard penalty for a chop block brings it all the way back outside the 30 to the 32, and the quarter was going to run out. First quarter completed here. Unioto Shermans on top. It's Unioto 7, Columbus East 0. You're listening to the Tomlinson Insurance SVC Playoff Game of the Week.
Our employees.
Looking for a job that works with your life? Your local McDonald's is now hiring. Join a team that's all about flexibility, growth, and a fun, fast-paced work environment.
At McDonald's, we're more than just burgers. We're part of the community. From supported local events to helping neighbors in need, we're proud to give back.
Apply today at your local Chillicothe or Waverly McDonald's or makehire.com. We'd love to have you on the team.
Ba-dum-bum-bum-bum. I'm loving it.
Craving something unique and delicious? Swing by the Lunchbox in Chillicothe, home of the famous pretzel sandwich. You'll love our all-day breakfast favorites, from hearty breakfast croissants to sausage gravy and omelet. And don't miss our fresh lemonade shake-ups, perfect to sip alongside any meal. Sink your teeth into our signature pretzel sandwiches like the savory Italian, loaded turkey club, or mouth-watering Reuben. We are right downtown at 24 East Water Street, ready for dine-in or quick carry-out.
Integrity. It's a small word with a big meaning, and it's one we hold dear at Ross County Banking Center. That means we work hard every day to do.
You've been watching SVC Game of the Week, presented to you by Tomlinson Insurance.
5, and they brought it back. Now they've got 4th and a long. They got about 4th and 18 back outside their 30-yard line. They'll line up with 5 wide receivers. Answered to quarterback. Here we go to start the second quarter. Back to pass. 5 wide receivers. Rolls to his left. Got a little bit of room. Throws to the sidelines. Complete. But I think it's short of the first down.
Short. Yeah.
Nice pass. Great catch. But it's going to come up about 3 yards shy of the first down marker. They needed about 18. They got about 15.
Really, that was a nice play, but I think Unioto knew exactly what they were doing. They were letting them catch the ball, but they were keeping everybody in front of the first down marker. Good open field tackle right there, too. I believe that was Jackson Zicafus. I'm not 100% sure, but nice open field tackle right there to bring Unioto's offense back on the field.
Ball spotted at about the 17. It was great. They did a great job. I'll tell you what, I'm impressed with Hansard, the sophomore quarterback. Rolled to his left, made a nice pass, good reception. But Unioto, as soon as each Tiger caught the ball, Shermans were there to bring him down. No chance for him to advance to the first down. It's a lot of people to the line of scrimmage. Isaac Coy in the pistol. They'll run it again. Right side running room, 20, 25. Breaks loose at the 28 and almost near the 30. I think it's a first down. And once again, guess who? Cody Braden on the carries. He broke through the line of scrimmage, and he picks up enough for a first down. Shermans on their first possession had a 51-yard drive, scoring on a two-yard run by Braden. Out of the Wildcat, went up 7-0. East drove down the field, got to the Unioto 5-yard line, but on that first down play, they were called for a chop block. It brought them back, and they weren't able to recover for a first down. Now the Shermans have it again. Zicafus. That's Jackson split to the left side. They go back with the pistol. Running back Braden to the right side. Not as much running room. Got a couple 3 that time. Remember, Cody got hurt on the first offensive play in week number 10 against Westfall. Gained 11 yards, injured, did not play the rest of the game. As we mentioned, that week off, I'm sure, helped him out a lot.
That bye really benefited Cody Braden, getting that extra week of rest. The one thing I've noticed here about the last 4 or 5 times Braden has ran it, it's been to the right side. Unioto, I think they found something on the right side that they like.
Second down to 9, 1-yard pickup there for Braden. They go back with the pistol. Single running back, 3 wide receivers to the left side. And now in motion is Unioto.
I had a false start right there.
I think that Braden or Long.
I think they both went. Well, that was Long in the backfield, but actually the wide receiver all the way on the far side, Jackson Zicafus, he jumped too. So pick your player right there.
That'll make it was 2nd and 9, so we'll call it 2nd and 14, maybe almost 15. Braden only got just barely a yard on that first carry. So Sherman's behind the chains a bit. Just underway in the second quarter, Unioto leads at 7-0. Their first series, they drove 51 yards, only 1 pass play in that. and got the touchdown. We'll see if they put it up in the air here. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Coy will hand it off. They're going to run it, nowhere to go, and they're going to lose yardage that time.
Yeah, Unioto was just really rushed on that play. They need to get the play in quicker. They were running up to the line, and that's why you saw quick motion. The play clock was at 1 right there on the snap, and there was just some timing issues on the handoff and everything else. Get the play in quick and, give yourself a chance. And now you're in a bad situation, 3rd and really, 15 probably?
Yeah, 3rd and 15. They spread everybody. I think tried to spread them out and then tried to slip Braden up off left guard, but nowhere to go. And now 3rd and long, and they'll go again with 4 wide receivers.
This might be a chance to try to hit Zickafoos on a big play here.
Coy looking to his left. Those across the middle, and a little bit of a mix-up. Not sure who he overthrew the short receiver or underthrew the wide receiver coming down. Not sure what happened. A little bit off there. Welsh was coming deep over the middle, and then they had a smaller receiver about 5 yards deep in between on the pass by Isaac Coy, and the Shermans are going to have their first punt of the night.
Yeah, they brought Braden. He kind of went backwards like they might be trying to set up a trick play, kind of eye candy for the defense. He was throwing to Levi Beam, but he overthrew him by about 5 or 10 yards right there.
9:27 left to intermission. 7-0 Shermans. They'll punt the football. Line of scrimmage here around the 20. Good bit of time. Nice punt. Long punt coming down. East will grab it, take it at the 36. Yeah, thought he put his knee down. Now he's still looking to run out to the 40 and across the 40-yard line.
Good coverage.
So good coverage. Good punt by the Shermans. So East will have pretty good field position. Again, their last possession, they began at their own 20-yard line and got all the way to the Unioto 5 before a penalty drove them back, and now they'll get it again. This time they're going to start at their own 43. 7-0 Sherman's lead. Tigers come out. Again, we apologize for our slow identification, but the East Tigers with white jerseys. They do have the tiger stripes, kind of like the Bengal helmets, but white jerseys and an orange number with no outline, and it is extremely difficult to see. They're going to run it right side. Nowhere to go.
Nice
a lot of
job.
purple jerseys.
Yeah, you got David Long right there in the middle of it. Nice job by the senior middle linebacker, and I believe
Weingardner was in there too, number 5.
Weingardner was in there, a whole host of them, but I think that was Dominic Edwards trying to pick up a few yards, and he lost a yard right there.
2nd and 11. Again, Hansard has not, everything's out of the pistol. Sometimes he goes 5 wide. Most of the time, like a lot of teams, he has that single running back off either his right or left hip. Same formation on 2nd and 11. Fake Hansard wants to throw. Looking, now he's got people blitzing him. He breaks loose from 1, breaks loose from 2, throws it over the middle. Big hit by the Shermans, but it's going to be a catch and a first down.
A big hit by Jackson Zickafoos, but a first down for East, and they had 2 or 3 chances to sack the quarterback right there. They just couldn't grab a hold of him. Boy, their quarterback Hansard, he is really, really elusive back there.
Yeah, they have a listed senior quarterback. I can see why Hansard's playing as a sophomore. I'll tell you, that could be a Monroe's collision of the game. Zickafoos really put the hit on the receiver, but a first down, Unioto territory. Jackson came up hard. It couldn't get it loose. Quick pass to the outside and tipped, and I think incomplete. I think it hit the ground.
Yep, I believe that was Jacob Renner got his hands up, and I think that's you got to see that as a defensive end. If they're going to throw that quick pass, you got to read his eyes and get those hands up, and the ball gets tipped up in the air. A linebacker or even a defensive lineman can pick that ball up. So nice job by Renner on that recognition.
2nd and 10 for the Tigers. They're at the Unioto 44-yard line. 8 minutes on the incomplete pass. Clock stopped. 7-0 Shermans. Tigers will go split a receiver wide to the right. That's Matlock. They got a slot right. Now Matlock backs up a bit. Again with the pistol. 2nd and 10. Back to pass. Hansard looking. Got pressure. Flows it into the flat. Missed his receiver out of the backfield. I think it was intended for Dominic Edwards.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I'm really impressed with this quarterback, Greg. They have thrown the ball 12 times already tonight. He's 7 of 12. He's got 89 yards passing.
For a sophomore, he's been good at finding a second or a third receiver. You don't see that with a young quarterback.
Absolutely.
Now, he's also very elusive, able to scramble, which benefited him a couple times. Now he's going to have to do something here because it's 3rd and 10. Don't know if they're in 4-down territory. They are in Unioto territory, but only the Unioto 44. Now nobody back with Hansard. 4 receivers to the right, single receiver to the left. They spread it out.
Looks like we have a delay of game.
And official will get the call. It is absolutely right. Sharon saw the play clock run down. So instead of 3rd and 10, 3rd and 15, the ball will come back almost to midfield now, put it at the Unioto 49.
So Unioto, they bring in 2 freshman subs on the defensive backs, getting Cody Braden and number 8, Micah Strange. A quick break. They're bringing in Lakin Langoff and Blake Braden as a defensive back.
5 wide receivers. Hansard back, looking. Now he's going to run with it. Scrambling, throws it deep down the right sideline. Got a man open, complete to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Tigers.
Wow.
Complete to number 3, to John Royster. Again, credit to quarterback. Hansard had pressure. He stepped up in the pocket. He gave him more time. He started to run. He stopped about 2 yards shy of the line of scrimmage, saw his man who had broken off his pattern down the right sideline, and caught him in about the 15-yard line. He caught it and then stepped back inside. That'll be officially a 49-yard touchdown pass, and East is going to go for 2 to try to take the lead. They go under center for the first time tonight, and they'll run it off the right side on the carry, and now pushing forward. I don't think he got in.
He has it.
He's near the goal line. Depends if they blow the whistle.
Short.
And they will blow the whistle. He did not get in. First time tonight they went with a full house backfield, a quarterback under center, and didn't get in. So
I forgot to mention that in the pregame, Greg. I was looking at stats. I did not see hardly any kicking stats. I think going for 2, that's going to be the thing for Columbus East tonight.
Did not make it. 7-6 our score. 7:47 left till intermission. Sherman's on top 7-6. Back with the kickoff. It's the Tomlinson Insurance SVC game of the week.
Looking for a job that works with your life? Your local McDonald's is now hiring. Join a team that's all about flexibility, growth, and a fun, fast-paced work environment.
At McDonald's, we're more than just burgers. We're part of the community. From supported local events to helping neighbors in need, we're proud to give back.
Apply today at your local Chillicothe or Waverly McDonald's or makehire.com. We'd love to have you on the team.
Ba-dum-bum-bum-bum. I'm loving it.
You've been watching SVC Game of the Week, presented to you by Tomlinson Insurance.
Life or health. We tailor.
Back with you, Greg Bigham, Jaron Cox. The Tigers will kick it off. This will be their first kick of the night. 7-6 our score on a 57-yard touchdown drive by the Tigers. High end over end kick taken at the 20. Going to run a reverse to Beam. Back around the right side to the 25, outside to the 30, to the 35, and down the sidelines. Unioto ran a reverse on the kickoff. Beam wound up with it, and good field position for the Shermans. They're going to start this outside their – see where they went out of bounds. It's outside their own 40. Going to think around the 41 or 42 for Unioto.
Actually, it looks like they said he stepped out about the 37. I thought he was well past that myself.
Yeah, okay, they do bring it back.
You know, I going back to that previous play that they scored on, nice job by the quarterback, Dior Hansard. Judah Zikafus thought they were going to throw the dump down pass, and he kept the ball in his hands. I saw oh gosh, what's his name? Royster streaked by him, and that's what allowed that big play right there.
Yeah, when he extended the play and Royster broke the pattern, went on down the right sidelines, got open, straight ahead on first down for the Shermans. The Shermans on their first possession, 51-yard touchdown drive with only one pass, and they kept it on the ground all the way down. Second time they had it, they went 3 and out, but I think they had a penalty during that as well.
They did.
And couldn't overcome it. That time 2 yards on the carry by Braden. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Well, it's kind of what we talked about. The East so far, when they do 5 wide, and this quarterback they have as a sophomore, there are a lot of people to cover, a lot of territory to cover. Shermans are going to have to do a good job against that offense. Now the run, a little bit of running room for Braden, kind of scoots, gives him the old kind of dead fish leg, and he broke it away from a tackle. And moved it forward near the first down. It's going to be out to the 45. Second down and short for the Shermans. 6:45. Go ahead.
I was going to say that's kind of been what Braden's been doing this game. You know, he kind of gets that, absorbs that first contact, keeps those legs churning, and a nice 6-yard run. Really, he was hit probably 1 yard past the line of scrimmage.
All of his runs have been like either 3 to 6 yards,
Yes.
pretty much all night long for Cody Braden.
Big 3rd and 2.
Yeah, big thing. You don't want to give the ball back to Columbus East before halftime. Second man through. No, not a lot of running room. And no gain on the play. Coy, I thought actually Isaac did a good job. I thought he kept the football. Was going to be on a naked keep around the left side, but he had handed it off to Braden. And the penetration for Columbus East. Now what do you do? 4th and 2. You lead 7-6. Do you punt the football or do you go for it?
I think you go for it. I think that you put a lot of trust in your offensive line right here, and you run the football. And the one thing, well, it looks like they may let the clock run down. They're going to have a hard time getting this play off because the play clock is going to be about 10 seconds when they hit the huddle. They may have to use their timeout. But I like the decision to go for it. You know, they've drawn people off sides before.
Yeah, that's what I thought. They might try to draw them off sides. They go with the pistol. We're down to 2 seconds on the play clock, and they will. Jaron's absolutely correct. They did not have time to get the play. They do have a timeout left, so Coach Hoops calls time. Well, here's where we're at. You're leading 7-6. You're on your own 45-yard line. It is 4th and a short 2. And, again, I agree. Maybe I don't think you want to, with a little momentum, I don't think you want to give the ball back to Columbus East here. Now, they would probably be able to punt the ball pretty deep. But if you keep the football, 5.5 minutes till halftime, maybe you're able to finish out and use the rest of the clock here or the rest of the first half. 7-6. Each team with a touchdown. The difference, Columbus East going for 2. Ben with pistol and either one running back wide. They get a touchdown. When they go for 2, they went Woody Hayes, full house, quarterback under center, and 3 running backs.
Yes.
And out of the timeout, I think, obviously, was so they didn't get a 5-yard penalty. They've got David Long up close to the quarterback. All their running backs are close behind Isaac Coy. Now he's going to step back. Long is about 1 yard behind his left tackle. Now Coy up very quickly under center. They think they tried to draw him off sides. Down to 10 seconds on the play clock. They go with the pistol, and again trying to draw Columbus East off sides. Now they go in motion.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to run a play.
No, 1 second, and they'll let the time run out. So they try to, good discipline by the East Tigers. Did not fall for the lot of movement. Coy gave it a couple slaps, and then he went in motion. Then Braden moved over to the right side to that wildcat that they scored their touchdown. But Columbus East did not jump off sides. The 5-yard mark off back to the 40, and the Shermans will punt the football. So Long will punt. Last time he had a really good punt. And again, this is special team. A lot of speed on. A lot of ability back there for East. So, the clock, there was a timeout, so the clock taps. St. Trace was down by a touchdown, 6-0 at Columbus Academy. So here we go. Line of scrimmage, the 40. Long, your punter. Snap is high. Long is up to get it. Good pressure, and he just got it away. High punt coming down, an immediate tackle. That's Zickafoos again.
Jackson Zickafoos.
Give him 2 T-shirts.
Yes. Yes.
Wow. He's not a big guy, but I'll tell you what, he will hit you. That is 2 big hits for Jackson Zickafoos. But credit David Long being athletic enough not to have a disaster. He had to leap in the air to catch the snap and then got it away without it being blocked and still come up with a pretty good punt down to the 24. And a big hit by Zickafoos. No yards on the return for the Tigers.
That was a big-time hit right there by Jackson Zickafoos.
Yeah, the announcer said 29, but it's a 24. East at their own 24-yard line. They've still got 5:27 left till halftime. trailing 7-6. See what they elect to do here. They've been effective. They've had some big pass plays, including
they've really thrown the ball a lot more than what they've ran it, Greg.
Yeah, they've not been real successful running the football. They go back with a pistol. And that's a direct snap on a wildcat and down immediately, losing yardage. I don't think that was their quarterback. I think they direct snapped to one of their running backs.
I think that was Dominique Edwards.
Edwards, one of their leading rushers, along with that direct snap to the running back. They lose 2 yards from the 24 to the 22. Second down and 12 for the Tigers. 7-6, they trail the Shermans. Moving on under 5 minutes to play in the first half. Matt Locke, one of their key receivers tonight, moves out to the right side. They still have a running back, but Hansard back in a quarterback. Hansard wants to throw, looks, fakes. Now he's going to run, scramble to the 22, to the 25, out across the 25, out across the 30, out across the and he was down to near the first down marker. Good scramble by Dior Hansard.
Yep, that's the thing with him. He's got the quickness in his legs, right? And we talked about that, his elusiveness. And when he's able to elude and keep his eyes down the field, he's a very effective quarterback, very impressive for a sophomore.
Hansard back out. They're not getting picked up about 9 yards. They're shy of the first down. Third and short. They throw quick to the outside, but incomplete. That was not a good pass by Hansard. He threw it a little bit too quick, didn't get his man. They went with a quick bubble screen. They were trying to get the ball quickly to Royster and let him do something with it, but the pass incomplete, and I don't think there's any way they're going to go for it.
They're too deep in their own territory. You're right, Greg.
Incomplete on the pass. Clock stopped 4:07. 7-6 our score. Sherman scored on their first offensive series. A 51-yard drive, all on the ground except for one play. But since then, their offense is not, and I don't think they've gotten a first down since that touchdown drive. Of course, East has had a lot of it. Good snap. Taking his time to punt it. Line drive punt. Zickafoose goes back, catches it, falls it, drops it. Now falls on it back at his own 30-yard line.
That was he
dangerous.
was trying to. Yeah, it was dangerous right there. It was over his shoulder like he was trying to be a receiver. But once he kind of fumbled it right there, nice job really just picking the ball up with his knee on the ground. So that's where Unioto is going to start, like the 31-yard line with 3:59 left to go in the first half. And it's going to be interesting, Greg, because really Unioto's only thrown the ball 2 times. And the one time they scored the touchdown, it was about a 9-minute drive. So it's going to be interesting to see how they approach this, because they do get the ball back in the first possession of the second half.
Yeah, 3:59, obviously just 4 minutes. Zickafoose out to the left side. And they go with Isaac Coy back up under center. 2 running backs behind him. Long pitch it left side. And
some room out there.
Yeah, that's Braden. And Braden brought down by the jersey. Got a couple yards. And again, East looked like he had a little bit of room, but East recovers very quickly. Their linebackers or D-backs can get there in a hurry. And looked like a pretty good gain for Cody, but he was pulled down before he got totally over to the sidelines, and let's give him 3 when they finally mark it at the 34-yard line. So second down and 7. Clock moves to 3:27 to play till halftime. They went with a tight formation there, not looking to throw it.
Yeah, they got 3 wide here.
Now Coy goes back to the pistol, the single running back, long up close to the line. Coy wants to throw, rolling to his right, looking. Coy throws it late across the middle, but got his man at the 45, first
David
down.
Long. Nice job right there by Isaac Coy. Rolled to his right. He was really looking for Jack Welch and Levi Beam out there, but David Long kind of slipped out right to the middle and got a nice catch right there for the first down.
Well, second completion of the night and only the third pass of the night for the Shermans. But that lets them keep this drive alive, leading 7-6, and now under 3 minutes left until halftime. And as Jaron mentioned, the Shermans will get the ball to start the second half. They deferred to start the game. They bunch up there. They do send a slot receiver, a wide receiver to the right.
Empty backfield.
Coy looking, quick out pattern, intercepted at the 50. East down the sideline. Zickafoose able to catch him, thank goodness, because that looked like a pick 6. They threw a quick out, and it was picked off by the Tigers. And now East with great field position.
Yeah, they must have had that play scouted, because it looked like that's who Isaac Coy was supposed to throw it to. He basically just took the snap and threw it, and the Columbus East defender was just sitting there waiting on it.
Almost, it looked like our play last week when Zane Trace picked off that. It wasn't a bubble screen. It was more of an out about 6 yards up the field, but East just jumped it.
Yeah.
They're able to pick it off, and they're going to have great field position at the Unioto 30-yard line.
Yeah, best field position of the night so far for East.
Not sure who intercepted that pass, if it was Matlock or was a single-digit player. Now by himself, Hansard. And now we got a whistle right when they're ready to run the play.
They're going to reset the play clock.
Yeah. So they'll reset the play clock. All right, we're back to that 5 wide receiver. 4 receivers to the right, single receiver to the left. All split out wide with Hansard, your quarterback. Now a man in motion. Fake it. Hansard rolls to his right. Looking. Now he's going to scramble. Throws down the sidelines. Wide open at the 20. Down to the 15-yard line and a first down for East. When he scrambles and the receivers scramble, the Shermans are having a hard time.
They are. That was a 15-yard pickup right there. And it's not the primary receiver that's killing him. It's the second one. You know, he's doing such a nice job in the backfield, keeping his eyes downfield. Unioto they had a screen pass set up. Good discipline by the lineman not to get too far down the field.
Matlock by himself to the right, 3 receivers to the left. They do put a running back here with Hansard. Hansard back to pass. Pressure. Moves forward. Now he runs with it. Lobs it to his man at the 5, down near the goal line, and it is a looking, and now they say he's out of bounds at the 1.
Yeah, that was Dom Edwards right there.
Edwards knocked the pylon over, and he's talking to the official now about whether it hit the pylon or not. To be truthful with you, I don't think any of the officials had a good look at it. They weren't close to the play. But it is a completion, and they're going to mark it at the 1-yard line. First and goal to go for the East Tigers. A similar play, a little bit of a scramble, and then as the quarterback was running forward, you have to come up and contain him, and he almost shot-putted it over the defensive line to his receiver, and then there was a lot of running room.
Yeah, when he dropped back to pass, his eyes were to the left, and nothing was there. He came back to the right, and the Unioto defensive lineman got his hands on his jersey, couldn't keep a hold of him, and there he was. It's almost like the defensive backs from Unioto got to stay disciplined and stay with their man, because that's where he's hurting them. You know, Hansard is doing a really good job keeping his eyes down the field, avoiding the pressure, and he's finding those second and third and fourth options, and that's what's hurting Unioto.
You know, that pattern there, you had a guy down and out, a short man into the flats, and when he scrambled, they do a great job. They being Columbus East, is when he scrambles, the receivers adjust. The guy in the flats just turned and went about 5 yards up the field, found a hole, and that's where he caught the pass. He got right to the pylon. It's first and goal to go from the 1. They go under center, and maybe a penalty against the East Tigers. I'm not sure what.
Illegal shift. And, you know, that could be a really big penalty right there, Greg. You go from the 1 back to the 6.
I'll tell you, there have been some couple big penalties tonight, and against Columbus East, that was first and goal to 1. They kind of went with a quarterback sneak off to the right side, but they were called. Maybe they weren't set. I'm not sure. They was called with a legal formation. Moves it back to the 6, so it'll be first and goal to go from the 6. Earlier, the East got a first down at the 5, called for a chop block, and that prevented them from scoring on one of their earliest drives. So now they're going to have to score from the 6. They do have first and goal to go. Back with a pistol. Hansard with a running back beside him. From the 6, man in motion to the right side. Hansard fakes, rolls, pressure, throws it across the middle, in the air, and almost intercepted. Harsha had his hands on it. I'll tell you what.
That would have been a big-time play right there.
That would have been a backbreaker for the East Tigers. You have first and goal to 1. You're called for a penalty for illegal formation, and then throw an interception, and Harsha had it in his hands. And it looked like he was couldn't hang on to it. Not a good pass. One of the Hansard just kind of lobbed it in the middle of the defense and was almost picked off. Second and goal from the 6.
Yeah, that would have been. That's a game-changing play right there.
So they'll get another chance. In fact, they're going to go with a direct snap here, and they do. They're going to run it to the left side with a direct snap, and moving inside the 5, down near the 3. Was that Royster on the carry?
I think it was Ayers. I think that's a name I didn't expect to see running the football. Michael Thompson Ayers.
So they gain from the 6 maybe to the 3. Now it's going to be third down from the far left hash mark. Again, Columbus East, I don't believe they have a kicker. They went for 2 on their first possession, and now Columbus East will call a timeout with 1:23 left. Let's take a quick timeout as well. You're listening to the Tomlinson Insurance SVC Playoff Game of the Week. Back right after this 30-second timeout.
At Tomlinson Insurance, we've been protecting families, farms, and businesses since 1853. From auto, home, farm, life, or health, we tailor coverage that fits your world. With multiple carriers to meet your insurance needs. Real people, real service, local agents who can answer the phone and care when it matters most. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call or stop by today.
You've been watching SVC Game of the Week, presented to you by Tomlinson Insurance.
Help us out. We got a little more ability to hear things back to the studio, but a big part of the ball game here. Columbus East, after late in the half, they intercepted an Isaac Coy pass and took this over at the 30-yard line of the Shermans. They had 1st and goal to 1, actually scored a touchdown but called for illegal formation. And now they're at 3rd and goal to go from about the 3.5. They're going to look to throw to the sidelines at the corner. Caught a man, and did he get in? He did. Touchdown. A quick out pattern. Harsha on the coverage. I don't believe it was Hansard. They went back, I think, with one of their other quarterbacks, and he was completed the ball to the left side, and that is a touchdown, Columbus East, and they will go for 2. They now lead 12-7.
Yeah, just a real quick out pattern right there. Good, really good timing. The quarterback and wide receiver, I believe that was Darian Matlock on that catch. Again, East is going for 2 here.
Last time they went full house T. They'll go back to that normal formation with Hansard looking to throw, back, looking, scrambling in the middle, across the middle, knocked in the air and actually knocked down to the ground. Tried to throw it over the middle. One of those big defensive linemen got a hand on it. I think it was knocked down. And I'm going to credit Luke Howard with getting a hand on it to bat it down in the middle of the defense. So East not able to convert the 2-point conversion, but they do take the lead with 1:19 until halftime by a score of 12-7.
Yeah, I think, obviously it's a shortened field right there, but I really liked what Unioto did defensively. They didn't allow cannot say his name, Hansard, keep wanting to say Hansard to move around. They kept him in the pocket, not to scramble. And he didn't have as much of an area to throw into, and the defensive line weren't really going for the sack, just keeping him right there. And they did a nice job of looking to see when he was releasing the ball and got their hands up. And really, that ball should have been picked off too. Not that it would have counted for anything on a 2-point conversion, but a nice stop on the 2-point conversion by the Unioto defense.
Yeah, I didn't get to play, but when they went back to the 6, they took Hansard out. And one of their wide receiver running backs ran a wildcat, ran the ball down to the 3. Looked like they went to that same formation, but had him throw. I don't think Hansard actually threw that touchdown pass, but complete and taking a 12-7 lead. They'll kick it off. Only 1:19 till halftime. Shermans really haven't moved the ball much since that first series. High end-over-end short kick will hit at the 25. Bounce to the Shermans to the 30. To the 35 and out near the 40. I think it was Harsha on the return, caught it on the dead run on a bounce and got pretty good position. And the Shermans are going to have the ball at the 40, good field position, but they only got 1:15 till halftime.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they approach this because
they just
last
threw
play,
that
they threw the interception.
That's right.
I would maybe look to see if I can throw a screen pass out to Braden or, a play that they've ran this year and last year is finding David Long
out of the backfield.
Right down the middle of the field.
I think that's what they're going to call. Long is right off his left tackle's hip. Coy flips the ball. They're going to go on a quick speed sweep around the left side and get 2 or 3 yards.
Levi Bean.
Columbus East Tigers. That was Royster. He's all over the place. Royster came up quickly to make the hit on Beam. Beam picked up from the 40 out around the 43, gave him 3 yards, 2nd down and 7. He did go out of bounds. Clock stopped with 1:09 until halftime. Columbus East has 12 unanswered points, and they lead over the Shermans now 12-7.
I hear that name, Royster, longtime JV basketball coach at Benton County High School.
Now Long is slotted to the left. He goes in motion. They'll run it straight ahead and falling forward for maybe a yard. That was Braden. They ran a man in motion, tried to spread East out and then go quickly up with Braden, but he only gets a yard to the 44. Now they're looking at 2nd down and 6.
It's 20 carries already in the game for Braden for 58 yards, so just under 3 yards a carry.
That about describes it. Had a couple of 5 or 6 yards. 20 seconds on the play clock. They can take this all the way down to around 22 seconds on the game clock. And I think Columbus East says, you know what, we're going to call a timeout. They'd like to stop him again, maybe make him punt.
Well, the one thing is, if they were going to call a timeout, they should have called it earlier, because basically Unioto can run a play. They could take a knee and go to halftime right now, because there's only 38 seconds left in the half. But if you're Unioto, you want to run the football, right? You don't want to throw an incomplete pass and give the ball back to East.
Because you're getting the ball started second
That's
half.
exactly right. Whether you take a knee or maybe you run a sweep or a reverse, but you do not want to throw the football right here and have an opportunity for that clock to stop.
So East uses the timeout. 38.2 seconds. Unioto, a 51-yard touchdown drive on their first possession, all running plays except for one. And they were able to, Columbus Academy leading 21-7. And Indian Valley, defending state champs. I was talking to a couple of people from Circleville, felt like they had a tough one tonight. Indian Valley, the defending state champs, leading 28-0. Here we go. 3rd down and a long 6. Coy is going to look to throw. Now throws high in the air down the right side, but there's no one close to the ball. And the clock will stop. And the Shermans, I think, will have to punt the football. They were looking to try to get the ball to Welsh, I believe. Jack Welsh, the right side.
I don't know what the thought process was there. If you were going to throw the ball, maybe you take a knee and then line up and run a Hail Mary, like as the last play of the half or something. Now, East has some really explosive weapons, and you're given the opportunity for a punt return right here and possibly a couple plays.
Yeah, the last time the snap was high.
Yes.
And almost blocked by East. They got back deep. Michael Thompson Ayers is back by himself. They do have a short return man up in front of him at the 40. And right before the snap,
we have a delay of game.
Sherman's
just kind of
not a sharp second quarter for the Shermans. They got off to that good start, drove it down the field, and you think, hey, man, we're going to use our strength, run that football. Stopped East on 3 and out, but boy, from then on, and certainly the second quarters belong to the Tigers. Now a little low snap, but Long gets it and has a little problem kicking it. It's going to land at the 45 of Columbus East and drop right there. It was only about a 20-yard punt in East with good field position, but they've only got 22 seconds remaining, but they're going to get the football at the 45, 46-yard line. And now double checking. It's going to be at the 44 of East.
Yep, they've shown 22 seconds is enough time for them to score a touchdown. Well, they've shown that. And, I wouldn't be surprised to try to see him throw a couple of those quick out passes and get 10, 15 yards, get out of bounds. And
well, the scary part is, and I know we're beating a dead horse, but if you're follow the game, it's this sophomore quarterback, Dior Hansard, who is not really running, scrambling. He did once, but he scrambles enough that he creates havoc and then throws the ball late to his open receiver. Here we go. Hansard will drop back to pass. Looking, throws to the outside, got his man at the 50. Unioto 45 and out of bounds at the Unioto 44. That is a first down, about a 12-yard pickup. Shermans were laying back, and they're able to hit the receiver to the sidelines. He gets out of bounds to stop the clock at the 45 of the Shermans. 16 seconds remain until halftime.
Yep.
I believe it was complete to Royster again.
Yes, that was Royster. Royster is having a heck of a game. He's got 94 yards receiving already.
Well, now they go again with 4 wide receivers. They like to do this. 4 receivers to the right, a single receiver to the left from the 45 of the Shermans. Hansard looking. Now looking across the middle, and it's picked off. 45, 40. It's Zickafoos, and he'll be brought down near midfield, but he picks it off, and now taken down with 4 seconds remaining. Yeah, Zickafoos read it, stepped up the middle at the interception, and the Shermans needed that. Probably not going to get any points out of it, but I think it helps the confidence to get them finally.
You feel a lot better.
You broke
about
the
yourself.
Momentum, don't you?
Yes, and that's something that maybe Unioto can look at, because they played an extra defensive back right there as a safety. Zickafoos was reading the quarterback's eyes, and I believe that he's still down from that interception return. Hopefully it's nothing serious. But I think defensively, maybe that's something you look at in the second half is maybe you take away one of those D linemen or you take away one of those linebackers and play Zickafoos back at safety if he's able to, because he's really, really good at reading quarterbacks' eyes and making plays on the ball.
Now, there's a Sherman down on the field. Zickafoos, when he intercepted it around maybe the 30-yard line, a lot of open field, but his first 10, 12 yards was wide open, and then it closed up very quickly. And he got hit, and then as he was trying to get loose, he kept getting driven towards the east sidelines and pushed to the sidelines, and I think at the end on the tackle, he came down. Hopefully maybe a wind just knocked out somebody, and I think it's Mr. Zickafoos who was after the interception, but still tending him on the far side, although there's a lot of Columbus East coaches and staff over there as well.
Coach Hoops and Unioto's trainer. And
2.5 seconds is all that remains, so the Shermans won't have a chance. Assuming they're going to probably go under center and drop to a knee and take this to halftime once they get a player off the field here.
They're calling for some more assistance. So, again, hopefully this is nothing too serious. Obviously, Jackson's one of the premier athletes in the area, not just the SVC.
Our game tonight brought to you by Tomlinson Insurance, your local McDonald's restaurants, Ross County Banking Center, Chillicothe Signs and Screen Printing, Greenwald Lawn and Landscape, The Lunchbox, Recreations, Kingston National Bank, Monroe's Collision, and the young man who we think it's heard is Jackson Zickafoos has actually earned 2 T-shirts tonight, a couple hits that he's put on. Monroe's Collision of the game, and then, of course, now Quality Heat and Air of Bainbridge, all enabling us to bring you coverage of playoff football. Again, St. Trace trailing their game tonight up at Columbus Academy. I think told me it was 21-0. Is that correct?
21-7, and it looks like Jackson is ahead at halftime, 10-7 against Miami Trace.
I tell you, I thought that game.
That was a weird game the first time they played. Miami Trace got a big 2-touchdown lead, and Jackson ended up, Miami Trace is up 14-0. Jackson ended up coming back to win 41-27.
Again, the winner of this one it'll be a neutral site next week in Week 13. They'll play the winner of New Lexington, I believe the Panthers, and then they're playing the Falcons of Fairfield Union tonight over in the east side of east of Lancaster. So the winner of this one will meet up with that one next week. Right now, the Columbus East leads at 12-7. Unioto able to take their first offensive series, 3-and-out for Columbus East, 51-yard drive. It was Braden on the touchdown from 2 yards out. Extra point by Matthew Good, 7-0. Looked like the Shermans were in control. He only threw 1 pass on that first series. East came back, drove it down, but a penalty brought them back. But then they got the ball right back, and they wound up with a 49-yard touchdown pass to Royster. 7:47 left until halftime. They went for 2, did not make it. Then it was punt, and then an interception. The Shermans threw an interception in their own territory and picked off by Columbus East. They were able to do a 30-yard touchdown drive and a 3-yard touchdown pass to Matlock. Gave them a 12-7 lead, and that's where we stand right now. So Zickafoos is walking off pretty much under his own power, but
holding that
right arm. So, again, we don't want to guess, but, again, you got a hand or a wrist or elbow, something there on the right hand, but nothing as far as any other part of his body. And they'll bring him over, and I'm sure take him over to check him out. So he'll come out. Would think the Shermans are going to just drop to a knee and bring this to halftime. And they do. Very quickly take the snap, drop to one knee, and we are at intermission. Good football game here in week number 12 at halftime. The Columbus East Tigers 12, the Shermans of Unioto 7. You're listening to the Tomlinson Insurance SVC playoff game of the week. We're going to take a timeout, and then I will hopefully have a halftime report for Marty Bannister of Total Media Sports. Come back a little bit later, and I guess we'll come back and give you some quick stats first. Vanessa, we'll take a quick break, come back with stats and a review of scoring, then we'll take a further break for our halftime interview. Again, the Tomlinson Insurance SVC Game of the Week, back after this 2-minute timeout.
Integrity. It's a small word with a big meaning, and it's one we hold dear at Ross County Banking Center. That means we work hard every day to do what's right, even when no one's looking. We treat people the way we want to be treated, volunteer in our communities, and keep a watchful eye to safeguard our customers. At Ross
Can you zoom in on the field and then you can take a break?
Week in the regional quarterfinals.
Well, Tim, the higher Oh my God. I saw all of those guys go wide and wheeled in Ukraine.
Defensive back as far as quickness, and you don't have him as a wide receiver, Jaron, but without it's the next man up. But on the other hand, I really think with Columbus East passing attack and a little bit of problems at times, I think that's where Zickafoose will really be missed to have that speed in the defensive secondary.
Oh, absolutely. Offensively, Jackson hadn't touched the ball yet tonight. But like you just said, Greg, I think where Unioto is going to miss him the most is on defense. And excuse me, I think, he made that interception at the end. I was talking about maybe keeping him as a safety, taking out one of the linebackers. And, obviously, if they go that route, it won't be Mr. Zickafoose. It would be the next man up. And the two defensive backs that Unioto's brought in to sub a couple times, that's been Braden Harsha and Lakin Langhoff. And, I've seen those kids the last few years. I know they're more than capable, but this is an awfully big stage for those freshmen, and I think they can get it done. But I think they just need to talk to those guys about just focusing on defense, because that's where they're going to need them the most at. They're going to get the ball right here, and I think if you're Unioto, how you're going to win this football game, you have to challenge your offensive lineman right now. You have to challenge Jonah Renner. You have to challenge Bryce Jarvis, Landon Caruth, Alex Gutierrez. Those guys have to have big halves for Unioto. You want to run the football with Cody Braden and David Long, and you want to take 6 or 7 minutes off the clock and finish with a touchdown. Keep your defense off the field. And that's the formula for Unioto to win this. You run the football, in an ideal situation, you might only get 3 possessions this half, but run the football, keep the clock rolling, put points on the board, and then you've got to find a way to stop Columbus East on offense. It feels like they're just gaining more momentum as the game goes on. What kind of adjustments can Coach Hoops make here at halftime to help out his defense?
Shermans will get the ball to start the second half around the area we talked about. I thought this could be a good one. It really did. Jackson only leads Miami Trace 10-7. That's in the third quarter. Here's one of the big scores and one of the best teams, I think, in the state, the London Red Raiders. Nobody's come close to them. And McNicholas, who beat Chillicothe last week, is leading London 14-10 in the third quarter. St. Trace trailing at the half 28-7 against Columbus Academy. It is Tri-Village 21-8 over Portsmouth West. And Bloom Carroll 21-8 over Licking Valley. Bulldogs on top. And we got Circleville trailing 28-7 against the defending state champs, Indian Valley. The Braves leading 28-7 over Circleville at Indian Valley. Some of the scores from around the area. Here again, it's 12-7. It was kind of first quarter time-consuming, long drive for the Shermans, and in the second quarter, the East got it going. And again, their primary weapon has been their sophomore quarterback, and again, he's able to scramble, get loose. And it's not that I don't know that he even has any rushing yardage. It's the fact that he's able to keep his eyes downfield.
And avoiding the sack.
It's that scrambling, and then all of a sudden their receivers do such a great job. Once they see him scrambling, they're taking off for on down the sidelines, the middle, wherever, and they've had some big plays to lead it 12-7. Here we go. The East will kick it off.
This is another area, Greg, where Unioto could pick up for Zickafoose's absence and some special teams right here.
An outstanding return man, so he, of course, obviously will not be back. The kick is high end over end, coming down, and Harsha takes it on the bounce at the 16, to the 20, Harsha to the 25, Harsha to the 30, down the sidelines, he breaks loose to the 50, 45, and out of bounds in East Territory, just what you talked about, and the freshman steps up, Harsha, with a great return.
Yeah, he, I've had the opportunity to officiate him in basketball the last couple of years, and he is quite the athlete, and he's built for a moment like this, and that's a big play. Now you're looking at Unioto maybe instead of having to drive 70 or 80 yards.
43.
Yeah, just 43 yards, and this is where Unioto scored. They on their first drive, it was a 51-yard drive. Now they got to go 43 yards.
They'll go back to the pistol. Coy. And they'll run it ahead to Brayton to the 40, Brayton to the 35, Brayton to the outside, breaks another tackle inside the 30. A little mad at himself that he still went down, but he broke a couple tackles. I tell you what, you can't start a second half better than that. Harsha returns the ball, almost 40-some yards, sets you up, and then Brayton the first down run on the very first play.
Yep, this is a great start for Unioto. And again, that right side, kind of like a little cutback right there. If you played Tecmo Bowl You know, that's one of those plays, the cutback. That's exactly what that play was.
All right. One offensive play. Kickoff return in one play. They're at the East 28-yard line. How about that? Put a man in motion. Coy stays. Now a second man in motion comes in front of him. They'll go Braden straight ahead. Cuts to the outside to the 25, down to the 20, inside the 20, and he got about 8 or 9 more. Well, they've adjusted to something here.
They have. And again, just little things. They're bringing number 9, Jack Welch, in motion. It's taking the eyes of the defense, and they're seeing that as he comes across the field, and then they're running back where Welch came from right there. So just, little things like that, I just call eye candy, something for the defense to look at to keep their attention away from where number 20 is.
Picking up, let's give him 9 more for Cody Braden. He's got about as many yards and 2 carries there as he did a lot of the majority of the first half. From the 19, second and short. They send out wide to the right. That's Langoff, another freshman, split to the right. They'll hand it. Now they're going to roll. They want to throw. Coy throwing to the sidelines, got his man, and it's at the 15 to Long, made a leaping catch down around the 15. So on 2nd and 1, they faked the run, went with the pass, and complete to Long out of the backfield. And to pat ourselves on the back, something that Jared and I talked about, especially without Zickafoos, maybe something, one of their completions, successful completion the first half was Long out of the backfield. So they went to him there.
I think where you're going to beat them at, if you're throwing the football, is to a guy like Long, who's not necessarily quicker, but he's a bigger target. And a nice job of Coy finding him open right there on the rollout to the left.
First down. Long moves over behind left tackle. Put a man in motion. They'll run it straight ahead to Braden. He's to the 10. Pushing forward, driving, legs moving to the 5.
Again, it's just little things, Greg. The motion. I think the motion is throwing them off. They're bringing the wide receiver. That time he went behind like they may pitch it. And it's just taking Columbus East eyes off of Cody Braden and trying to figure out what's going on, and that's what's opening up that gap between the right guard and the right tackle.
Braden moved it all the way down, and the football was laying inside the 5-yard line. Again, another 9 yards, 2nd and 1. They obviously can get a first down inside the Columbus East 5. Now back under center is Coy. 2nd and short, man in motion. Coy. Yeah, a little bit of a mix-up, but Long's going to be able to break through, fall forward. He almost fell in the end zone. There was a little bit of a bump in the backfield.
That was a good cutback right
It was.
there.
Great run by David Long.
1st and goal for Unioto. 2-yard line, Greg. This is exactly the start that they needed right here.
Long he's the up back. If you hand him the ball off, he's so close to the left guard, left tackle, you got to get it to him fast, and they were able to. 1st and goal to go. Coy back up under center from the 2-yard line. Coy straight ahead, gets shoved from behind. I think he fell in the end zone, and it is touchdown. I see Coy. I don't know if it was Long or Braden. They shoved him in the back and knocked him down, but knocked him into the end zone.
I wanted to make sure there was a little hesitation there by the officials not giving him the touchdown, but Coy was clearly in, and that is a dream start for Unioto right there in the second half.
I don't know if that was Long, but it was quarterback. Isaac Coy kind of quarterback sneak, but he wanted to go off left guard, and he took one step near the goal line, and then he just got hammered from behind by his own man and just knocked him into the end zone for the touchdown. 2-yard run for Coy officially. Matthey's kick is very strong this time, up and through, and good. Shermans retake the lead with a great start here to the second half. 8:52 to play in the third quarter. Shermans 14, the Tigers of East High 12. Back with more on the Tomlinson Insurance Game of the Week after this.
You've been watching SVC Game of the Week, presented to you by Tomlinson Insurance.
At Tomlinson Insurance, we've been protecting families, farms, and businesses since 1853. From auto, home, farm, life, or health, we tailor coverage that fits your world with multiple carriers to meet your insurance needs. Real people, real service, local agents who can answer the phone and care when it matters most. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call or stop by today.
Stressed? Overstimulated? Smash it out at Recreations. Rec plates in our rage room, fling paint in the splatter zone, then strike a pose in the selfie studio. Chaos, creativity, and content. Let's get messy.
You see them coming off the side. They're playing for their brother right now. They're playing for
agree.
Jackson Zickafoos, and hopefully they can keep this emotion up the rest of this game because they're pretty fired up.
Matthew will kick it off. Well, their offense got it going again. Now the key is they want to give up. Got to slow down Hansard, the quarterback, and scrambling and throwing down the field. Although the last series for Columbus East, Zickafoos intercepted it. Long, high kick will come down to the 6-yard line. East out to the 15, to the sidelines, to the 20, looking for running room, and he'll be brought down. Good coverage by the Shermans.
They're going to start about, what, the 23-yard line, it looks like? So this is where I want to see the adjustment that Unioto is going to make. It looks like they got Blake Braden, number 2. He's a freshman. They put him back there kind of like a safety. He's almost 45, 50-yard line right now, and maybe they're going to play a free safety.
Spotted at the 23, so good coverage on the kickoff by the Shermans. East will start all the way back at their 23-yard line, and they'll go right off the bat, 3 wide receivers right, 1 to the left. They do keep a running back with Dior Hansard.
3 freshmen in the defensive backfield.
A little bit of a blitz, quick out pattern for the Tigers to the 23. Breaks a tackle to the 30, 35, and out near the 40-yard line. Just a quick out pattern. The first man missed him, and the quick out pattern complete to Royster. Goes from the 23 to the 30, 15-yard gain out near the 38 to the 39, give him 16. And they're going to go hurry up. They were real successful in their hurry-up offense in the first half.
Yes, they were.
Hansard. Single running back. He'll look. Quick out pattern again to the right. Had to go down on the ground to catch it. It is a completion to Matlock. No, it hit the ground?
Yeah.
Matlock had to go to the ground to catch it, and they say it hit the ground. Matlock, talking to the official, said, I think I caught it. It was only going to be about a 2-yard gain, but they'll bring it back to the 39, 2nd down and 10. And again, going without a huddle. Hansard goes to the sidelines, and now comes back in with the play.
Three freshmen in the defensive backfield for Unioto, Greg.
Harsha,
Blake Braden, and Lakin Langoff.
Micah Strange back in a far corner as well. Snap back, looking to throw into the flats, complete, and now dropped. Well, I tell you, had some running room. Could have been close to a first down. The second man out from the slot position. They sent the first man deep, brought the second man out in the flats. That was going to be a pretty good gain, but as they say, tried to run.
Yeah.
Unioto, they tried to run with it before they had it, and dropped by the Tigers.
Unioto probably wanted them to call that a completion because he dropped the ball and the Unioto defender picked it up, and he could have taken it back to the house right there. But 3rd and 10. The one thing I don't like with this Unioto defense right now, they're giving up a big cushion, and I think it might be because of the inexperience back there.
Split out to the right is Matlock by himself. They got 3 receivers to the left. Hansard looks, back to pass. There's a blitz. He runs out of the blitz, throws to the sidelines. Wide open 50, 45, 40, 35, 33. Still on his feet to the 31-yard line. And now Unioto said he fumbled it at the end of the play. We'll wait and see from the official, but it is a first down.
29-yard pass.
Big yardage.
Daquan Lindsey. They gotta.
Same thing.
Yeah, they've got to keep the quarterback in the pocket. They can't let him scramble around, and they're giving up a big cushion, and something's got to give here.
They're giving up the deep man, but it's that second man, 5 to 10 yards down, that's catching the ball and then running with it for the Tigers. Brand new set of downs, trailing 14-12. They'll run it to the right side. Not a lot of room. Sherman stack it up. For only a gain of about 1 out to the 30-yard line, East in Unioto territory. We're in the 3rd quarter. Shermans took the opening kickoff after a great kickoff return by Harsha, drove it down for the touchdown, and take a 14-12 lead. But right back come the East Tigers. They got a big first down on 3rd and 10. And now they're 2nd and 9 at the 31.
I feel like anytime East runs the football, that's a win for Unioto.
Absolutely. I agree. If I was you, I'm tickled to death as a Sherman fan if they're going to run the ball. But when that Hansard starts running around back there, it gets nerve-wracking. Back to pass. Hansard looking, pressure, looking, throws it down the left side. Wide open and knocked down.
Nice job by Judah Zickafoos.
That was wide open, and the quarterback underthrew his man. And you're right, Judah Zickafoos got there just in time to get a hand on it. And that looked like 6 points for a moment, but Zickafoos able to catch up and get a hand on it and caused the receiver to miss it.
That ball was underthrown
Yes,
by
it
about
was.
5 or 10 yards, but that was a tough throw because that was not a well-designed play. He was rolling to his left, and it's kind of hard to throw back across your body. If it was to his right, I think he could have got some more in it and got the touchdown, but nice job by Judah Zickafoos to break that up.
All right, 4 receivers to the left, single receiver to the right is Matlock. Back to a 3rd and long, 3rd and 9 this time. Snap back, Sherman's tried to get pressure, looking, now across the middle, looking, and almost intercepted. He had a hand on it.
Lakin Langoff.
Langoff, a freshman. They had double coverage going deep over the middle.
Let's be honest, Greg. That should have been intercepted.
Yeah.
You know, he had both hands on the ball. He was outstretched, but that should have been an interception. And I think that's going to keep the East offense
they're going
out
to
on
go
the
for
field.
it. Yeah, they're at the 30 of Unioto. They're certainly not going to punt the ball here. Trailing 14-12. Clock stops 6:49 to play in the 3rd quarter. Sherman's up by 2, 14-12, and this is a big play.
This is a huge play right here. And you know, it's the play clock's down to 10 seconds, and East is just now getting out of the huddle, so they might have a hard time getting this play off.
Quarterback Dior Hansard. 2 receivers to the right. Play clock down to 1, and they get it off. Hansard looking, and maybe they called timeout.
They did call timeout.
Their coach not wanting. They got the snap off, but the coach knew it was right down to 1 second. They'll call a timeout. We'll keep it right here. 6:39 left, 3rd quarter. Sherman's up 14-12. A huge 4th and 9 coming up for the East Tigers.
That was a really big timeout. Probably the right call. You know, on a 4th down and 9 when you're losing, you don't want to be rushed, right? You want to get up there to the line of scrimmage. You want to be set. And probably the right call. You just hate to waste a timeout.
You know, one of the things, and I've obviously am calling here, and I always say a lot of times they have 4 wide receivers to one side and a single wide receiver to the other side. Jaron, when you got 4 receivers over there, it's hard to play zone.
It is.
There's too many guys.
Yep.
And one of the things that we've kind of, again, if he buys time, he being Hansard, the quarterback, those 4 wide receivers, if 2 of them go deep, maybe 1 deep middle, 1 deep left corner, the Shermans are backing up to make sure they don't get behind him. But that 3rd guy that winds up 8 or 10 yards away is the man they've been getting the ball to on the scramble.
Then it leaves you one-on-one on the other side, too.
Here we go. 4th down and 9 from the Unioto 30. Here comes the blitz. A lot of people coming in. Hansard across the middle. Incomplete.
Nice job by Lakin Langoff. Breaks up the pass on 4th down. Turnover on downs.
East wanted East wanted an interference. It was not interference. I think he did a great job breaking on the ball.
Yes.
And so the Shermans hold on 4th and 9. They'll take over in a big defensive play. Shermans came with pressure that time. Hansard had to get rid of it over the middle. He was looking for Matlock, and good coverage kind of ran almost the ball, and both the receiver and defender all came there at the same time, knocked away.
All of a sudden, this could be the biggest drive of the game so far for Unioto. They can make this a 2-possession lead.
Yeah, then you eat up some time if they can as well from their own 30. Well, it goes back to the pistol. That man in motion. Braden runs it 30, 34, 35, and a late flag.
We got a holding penalty. It was the left guard for Unioto. I couldn't catch his number. I saw him grab the jersey.
Well, is it Coy checking with the official? So they'll go from the line of scrimmage. From the 30, it'll take it back to the 20. Holding against the Shermans will put them in a 1st and 20 situation. Midway through the 3rd quarter, Sherman's lead at 14-12 in a dandy here in week number 12 of playoff action in Division 4. Winner plays we did not get a score on New Lux Fairfield Union, but neither one of these teams are worried about that right now. They're in a battle to try to win this one. Stay with the pistol. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Beam in motion. Coy will keep it straight ahead to the 20, out near the 25, and fall forward. He got 5. It'll bring up 2nd and 15.
That's I like that play
right
there. You know, you're bringing the guy in motion. I love the motion. I love this adjustment that Coach Hoops has made, the eye candy out there. Now, you know, East probably talked a little bit, hey, forget the motion. Let's focus on Braden. You keep the ball if you're Coy right there, and you pick up 5 yards. That's a big play on 1st and 20. You know, now, not that 2nd and 15 is manageable, but it's a lot better than 2nd and 20.
Absolutely. Jack Walsh moves out to the right. Now they kind of got a bunch formation to the right side. Coy is by himself in the pistol. Coy wants to throw, rolling to his right, still looking, being pressured. Throws to the sideline, and two receivers fall down. I think they were both out of bounds. Really didn't have much. Trying to get it to Beam, but a good job by Isaac Coy just getting rid of the football there.
Yeah.
Clock will stop. Incomplete pass. It'll be 3rd and 15.
You know, 3rd and 15, this is a tough spot for the Unioto offense. You know, maybe a run, maybe you get like a screen to your running back somewhere, get a couple of blockers out in front of him, you know, see if maybe you can pick up, you know, a cheap first down, we'll call it, maybe catch East playing a little bit soft. But,
Long comes out. They bring Harsha in, so they go with more speed and more wide receivers.
Yeah, 5 wide.
Yep. 2 to the left, 3 to the right. Coy's by himself, standing on his 20, looking, quick out pattern, complete. Not a lot gain. They're going to gain a couple yards, maybe back to the original line of scrimmage to the 30. Going to bring up 4th and 10. They went with the quick out to Beam. It is complete, but it'll be not enough. That did not able to overcome the 10-yard holding penalty against the Shermans, and they'll have to punt it away, leading 14-12. Clock moves down. 5 minutes remaining, 3rd quarter here at Unioto.
You know, earlier in the game we talked about Unioto did have a high snap on the punt. You know, you got to make sure you get the ball to David right between his numbers here. You don't want to give up cheap points off a miscue.
Long standing at his 15. Good snap. Not much rush. Long punts it away, and a nice long punt back toward his East, taking it at their own 30-yard line and taken down immediately. Great punt, great coverage by the Sherman special team.
Nice job. That's number 32 for Unioto, Walker Sams.
Nice job. Walker Sams, the junior, got down there on coverage. Well, the Shermans scored. Great kickoff return by Harsha. It was a 43-yard touchdown drive. A lot of it runs by Braden, but a 2-yard run by Coy for the touchdown, 14-12. East came right back, got all the way from their own 23 down into Unioto territory, but came up short on 4th down. Shermans go 3 and out. Now East has it again, and this time at their, 35?
Yes.
Where he went out of bounds. Man in motion, blitzed by the Shermans, coming to the quarterback, looking. This time they get him. The ball is loose. Is it a fumble or is it a pass?
I think it was a fumble.
Really, that first time tonight that we've talked about being a sophomore, that's the first time tonight Hanser, I thought, panicked.
Well, I'm not sure, Greg, I would say he even panicked. I think that's just the best pressure that Unioto's got on him. The right defensive end got past the left tackle and really got his arms around him and kind of Hansford. Yeah, when he did start to throw, he just kind of let go of it instead of trying to throw the ball, and that's what caused the fumble. But it's going to be 2nd down for East behind the chains here, 2nd and long.
Big recovery. There's an entry on the field to one of the Shermans. Let's take a timeout as well. 4:29 left, 3rd quarter. Shermans lead at 14-12. The Tomlinson Insurance SVC playoff game of the week. Back in 30 seconds.
At Tomlinson Insurance. At Tomlinson Insurance, we've been protecting families, farms, and businesses since 1853. From auto, home, farm, life, or health, we tailor coverage that fits your world. With multiple carriers to meet your insurance needs. Real people, real service, local agents who can answer the phone and care when it matters most. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call or stop by today.
You've been watching SVC Game of the Week, presented to you by Tomlinson Insurance.
It will be a loss. He was moving forward and let go of the football, and the East recovers, but it's going to be 2nd down and 11. Hansard to quarterback. The injured man was David Long, one of the linemen for Unioto. Looking to pass, quick out to the left side. Look, running room, 35, 40, 45, 50, down the sidelines, chased by the Shermans, and out of bounds deep in Sherman territory. That was just, all it was a quick hitch pattern, but the Shermans, again, playing deep, did not have good, it's tough when you're playing 10 yards deep and that guy's got the ball full speed coming at you.
Yeah, that was just literally kind of like what I call a spot pass, and they're giving them like a 10 or 15-yard cushion, and he breaks the first tackle, and what should have been about an 8-yard gain turns into a 33-yard gain.
All right back they come. The Tigers at the 32 of Unioto. Answered the quarter. That was just a quick catch, but he just raised up and threw to his wide receiver, and he took it from there. Quick, same thing to the right side. This time there's better coverage, quickly up at first. Langhoff, the freshman, got there in a hurry. Got good help also from Luke Howard.
Yeah. Again, when East runs the ball or throws that really quick pass as soon as he gets it, that's a win for Unioto. Those are the ones Unioto's having success against. It's where Hansard gets loose in the pocket back there and eludes the rush. That's where they're really hurting Unioto in the defensive backfield.
Let's call it no gain, maybe a loss of a half yard. Second down for the Tigers. Dior Hansard, the quarterback. Now he'll keep a running back off his left hip in the pistol. Man in motion is Royster, looking to throw. Now he's going to run, scrambling to his right. This time he is going to run to the 30 and out of bounds as he's taken out of bounds by the Shermans. Picked up 4 or 5 yards. One of the first scrambles where Hansard kept the ball and gained positive yardage. That time couldn't find a receiver. He took off and was able to gain yardage on 2nd and 11. He gained 6. And we'll call it 3rd down and 5. Inside the 30-yard line of the Shermans. Shermans trying to hang on. They lead it by 2. 3:20 as he ran out of bounds left in the third quarter.
It's a big 3rd down play right here. This is probably 4th down territory.
No doubt about it. 4 down. They went for it on 4th time here, just on 4th down a few moments ago. Didn't make it last time. Tripped down through here. Back to pass. Hansard looking. Some pressure. Throws to the outside. Got a man, and he dropped the ball. Had it in his hands, tried to run before he caught it, and the receiver drops the ball, and it's going to be 4th and 5. That was a first down.
Daquan Lindsay,
man, that was going to be inside the 15.
David Long comes back in the game. Again, I think here, 4th and 5, you're in week 2 of the playoffs, right? You're playing to win. You can't give a 8-10-yard cushion. You got to tell your freshman DBs, get up here on them and make them make a play. Because this is another big play right here, 4th and 5.
I think that was Daquan Lindsay that dropped that ball. Now East will come out with 2 wide receivers to the left. Keep a tight end this time. And now we got a whistle, and I think East may call
second timeout. Wow.
East calls the timeout, wanting to get this right here on 4th and 5, trailing by 2. We'll take a quick timeout as well. The Tomlinson Insurance SVC playoff game of the week here on WXIZ. Back in 30 seconds.
Stressed? Overstimulated? Smash it out at Recreations. Rec plates in our rage room, fling paint in the splatter zone, then strike a pose in the selfie studio. Chaos, creativity, and content. Let's get messy.
Learn to drive with confidence at Legacy Driver In-Person Training School in Jackson, Ohio. Teen or adult lessons, we have you covered. Call 740-418-0930 for all your driving school needs today.
You've been watching SVC Game of the Week, presented to you by Tomlinson Insurance.
Unioto scored to start the second half. East drove down about the same spot, down around the 30. On 4th and 9, pass was knocked down. They turned it back to Unioto. East got it. They're back down to the 27. Again, it's 4th down. This time 4th and 5 as they trail by 2. Matlock split to the right side. They got 4 receivers to the left as normal. The only man back is Hansard, the quarterback. 4th and 5. He's in the pistol. Looks around. Takes the snap. Here comes the blitz for Unioto. Long coming in. Now he's going to run with it. He's taken down.
Nice job, number 57. That is Bryce Jarvis.
Good job. They got some pressure, but they stayed home. That time, Hansard, it almost looked like he was planning on running the whole time.
That was a design run. They put 5 wide out there, 4 to the left, 1 to the right. They had a design quarterback draw. The Unioto defensive line stayed home, didn't try to rush right there, and he ran right into Bryce Jarvis, and that's a big-time stop for Unioto. Now you've got to run the football. You've got to pick up some first downs and shorten this game right here.
14-12 last series for the Shermans. They had a holding penalty and kind of got them behind the chains. They didn't recover. See what they can do this time. Welsh splits out to the left. 2 running backs that got up under center with the quarterback Coy. East crowds the line of scrimmage, and there's not much running room. Braden falls forward for a yard. Columbus East that time, they had about 8 guys on the line of scrimmage.
I want to see Unioto get back to spreading it out and bringing that guy in motion. I think it was Levi Beam that was going in motion. Jack Welch, you can rotate a guy out there. I don't like this double running back set for Unioto. It hasn't been super effective tonight.
With the quarterback under center and 2 running backs only about 3 yards behind him, he certainly crowded the line of scrimmage that time. 1 yard on the gain. 2nd down and 9. We're down to 2.5 minutes left, third quarter. Now they go to a power I formation. Coy looking, rolling to his right. Oh, he had a man quickly. Now he's still rolling. Throws to the sidelines. He's got a man, and he couldn't hang on to it at the 45. Had his hands on it, but able to pull it in.
He had Levi Beam open. He was about 2 seconds too late at getting rid of the ball right there. We do have a flag. It's going to be a holding. Let's see if they accept it and make it 2nd and 19, or if they're going to go 3rd and 9.
It is against Unioto. Talking to the East Tigers coaching staff, saying, do you want to take the penalty? Yeah, holding is the call.
Okay, so 2nd 19, and again, that's the second drive in a row here where Unioto's had a 10-yard penalty that's kind of drove them far back, and it's hurting their chances of getting a first down or two right here.
Defensively they're leading, but you got Zikafus out of the game. You got 3 freshmen, and how many times can you stop them with 3 freshmen back there against this East attack?
It feels like they're flirting with danger on defense.
It does. This is going to be tough. 2nd and long, 2nd and 19. Coy, nobody back there with him. He's got all wide receivers spread out left and right. Going to throw, back to pass. A little bit of pressure. Now he rolls to his left, scrambles to the 15, to the 20, throws it up the sideline for his man, and then he catches it in bounds.
A huge catch. Nice throw by Isaac Coy. Finds Levi Beam, gets his 1 foot in bounds. That was a 26-yard pass right there to Levi Beam.
Yeah, line of scrimmage was back around the 20, inside the 20. So, Beam was open. Coy had to throw it up in the air. Beam had to go up. He had inside position on his defender, and he caught it. Was a matter of fact, did he get in bounds? And he did, and that's a huge play all the way to the 46 of Columbus East, and a big, big play. Gets the Shermans a brand-new set of downs and gets them out of their own territory.
This is the formation I like for Unioto.
Braden straight ahead, got room, 40, bowls over a defender to the 39, picked up about 6 yards on the carry. That's what they did on the first series of the second half. Put the man in motion, gave it to Braden, and he gets good solid yardage on first down. Give him 6, call it 2nd down and 4. Clock under 2 minutes left, third quarter. 14-12, Sherman's up by 2.
The split wide receivers, Greg, with shotgun and David Long kind of like in that wingback spot right behind an offensive lineman. That's what's been working well for Unioto running the football.
Well, splits out to the right. They got 2 receivers to the right. Everybody else in tight. Now Long moves in behind his right guard to help out the block. They go with the pistol. They go with Braden. 40, 39, 35, first down. Just kind of off left guard, left tackle. Man comes in motion, they run him, and I think Long comes across in front of him to block, and a first down to the 35 of East.
There's no need to do anything fancy, right? You find what's working, a formation, a play, and stay with it. Make East make an adjustment. Right now, you have the lead. You got them on their heels a little bit. Get 4 or 5 yards of carry.
You set it down from the 35 of East. Pistol formation. Coy wants to throw. They go stop and go. Down the sidelines. Harsha near the end zone and unable to bring it in. They ran the stop and go. They faked it. Harsha got behind the defender.
What an effort by Harsha right there. Dove out, had the ball in his hands, and just when he hit the ground, it fell out.
Diving attempt by Harsha would have been a touchdown. Good pass by Isaac Coy.
Yeah.
You had to make sure you get it out there. He had about a 2-step advantage on the defender. So they went for the score. Now 2nd and 10 from the 35. We guess they'll come back with a run. Clock stopped under a minute to play. Third quarter. Long moves in behind the left guard. Go with the pistol. Braden runs, breaks to the outside. 35. Oh, nice tackle.
We got a holding
and
penalty.
Another 2 flags called on the Shermans. I think it's on the Shermans.
Yeah,
2 flags coming in.
Bryce Jarvis just kind of held. He reached out and grabbed him, and there's nobody there to block it. It was right there in front of everybody, and you're not going to get away with that one.
Matlock with a nice tackle. Braden looked like he was going to be able to break to the outside. Matlock come up and submarined him, took him down. And another holding call on the Shermans. Now, they overcame the last one. That was that long scramble pass from Coy rolling to his left and got it down to Beam. But now they're going to have to overcome another holding call. They're going to be all the way back at the 45, and they have to get almost to the 25. So nearly 20 yards to go. Second down, under center. They're going to run it. And not much there from behind, and now pulling down Braden from behind. Got a couple. It'll bring up third down. Again, East that time, I think with the quarterback under center, knowing Braden, and they were able to gamble, put a lot of guys that like to come from the corner, from the outside, and that rush almost straight down the line of scrimmage, and they got Braden from behind before you really could get going.
Yep,
we got a whistle. Not sure if there's a equipment problem or.
Not real sure, but that run is going to put Braden over the century mark today.
Clock is down to 11.4. Should be. Yeah, now they're going to wind it, and we should run to the end of the third quarter. Shermans will just walk to the bench, and that should end the third quarter. Well, 12 minutes to go. 1 quarter of action. This exciting playoff contest. Unioto 14. The East Tigers 12. Back with fourth quarter action on the Tomlinson Insurance Game of the Week after this.
Craving something unique and delicious? Swing by the Lunchbox and Chill Coffee, home of the famous pretzel sandwich. You'll love our all-day breakfast favorites, from hearty breakfast croissants to sausage gravy and omelet. And don't miss our fresh lemonade shake-ups, perfect to sip alongside any meal. Sink your teeth into our signature pretzel sandwiches like the savory Italian, loaded turkey club, or mouth-watering Reuben. We are right downtown at 24 East Water Street, ready for dine-in or quick carry-out.
Oh, my mower won't start. I know what to do. Take it to Matheny's Small Engine Repair, located on Savageville School Road in between Jackson and Chillicothe. Matheny's is now an official Encore dealer with both new commercial and residential models on display. They'll get you up mowing.
Ready to transform your entire lawn? Call Greenwald Lawn and Landscape. Just need a quick mow? Call Greenwald Lawn and...
You've been watching SVC Game of the Week, presented to you by Tomlinson Insurance.
Portsmouth West losing by 3 scores. Columbus Academy 35-14 over Zane Tracer, still in the third quarter. Well, here we go, Jaron.
Yep, 3rd and 17. This is a tough spot to be in.
Quarterback Coy, back to pass, looking, pressure from the outside, steps forward, looking, and throws to the sideline. Caught, but I think he was out of bounds.
I think they're going to.
No, they're going to give it to him.
Catch.
Wow, Beam playing NFL for me there on the sidelines. That's twice he's got a foot down. It will not be a first down, but it is positive yardage. He'll bring up 4th down.
That Levi Beam stepped up, and he's had a big second half for Unioto. That's 3 catches already this half for 39 yards for Levi. We got a Columbus East player. Looks like a cramp here on the Unioto sideline.
Oh, okay. I didn't see what happened, so they stopped the clock. Of course, Beam went out of bounds. Well, let's set the stage for you. First play of the fourth quarter. Coy, again, Beam going up in the air, getting his feet down around the 32-yard line, at the 32. It'll be 4th down 7 or 8. They got to reach to the 25. Oh, about 7 yards to go.
Greg, do you punt right here or do you go for it?
I think I would go for it.
I think so too.
Now, if it was 4th and 15,
yes,
I'd try to put him in the hole maybe. And
I almost like the stop and go again to Harsha. You know, that could have been a game-changing play, and East bought on it. And I feel like I might go to that, maybe have him run that, be one-on-one on a side by himself, and maybe look for David Long or leave David Long across the middle, Levi Beam on the other side. I'd even put Lake and Langoff out there right now. I think you got to go 4 wide and have Cody Braden in there. Your line's got to protect and give Coy some time. And the other thing, too, about Coy is you can't discount this. He's mobile. You know, he can run the football, and if there's an open gap right there, maybe he can run and pick up a first down. It's not like he needs 15 or 20, you know, just 7 or 8. So,
still down on the sideline. Excuse me. Now on the sidelines, the East player. Let's take a quick timeout while they're still attending to the East Tiger on the sidelines. You're listening to the Tomlinson Insurance SVC Playoff Game of the Week. Back, the Shermans will be facing 4th down when we return on the Tomlinson Insurance Game of the Week.
It takes determination to create a successful business. It's never easy, but always worth it. It takes making a leap of faith. It takes patience and late nights to reinvest in a startup. But it also takes asking for guidance from dependable people. All to turn a dream into a reality. People's Bank. Working together, building success.
You've been watching SVC Game of the Week, presented to you by Tomlinson Insurance.
That's one of their top. He's one of their top defenders and one of their top receivers as well. So if you're the East Tigers, you want to get him back in the lineup. But right now, the Shermans are going to face a 4. Let's call it 7. They need to get to the 25.
They do have Harsha down here one-on-one.
Yeah, I like Long out of the backfield. Is he in the ball game right now?
He is. He's the tailback right beside Coy. 3 receivers to the left.
4th down and 7. Coy in the pistol. Back to pass. Pressure. Has to roll to the outside. Still looking. Throws down the sidelines.
Oh, it's pass interference.
And incomplete.
Oh, I thought he grabbed his arm and pulled his arm down, Greg.
I couldn't tell. They were looking for Braden. And if Braden might have touched it first, because the receiver behind him was the one that got run into, you're talking about. But it's going to go as an incomplete pass, and that will give the ball back to Columbus East.
So Unioto defense, they need to step up again right here. This is another big stop. You know, you feel like they've kind of been flirting with danger the last couple possessions. East has moved the ball. They've got around to the 25 or 30, and they've stalled out. And you know, if you're Unioto, you got to bend but don't break.
That's like the 30-yard line on this end, like the Great Wall of China, because
you can tell the difference of the field, Greg. Look at the 30 here and the 30 down to our left.
It's all chewed up. Nobody's been down to the other end, but yeah, East has been down to this end of the 30 and got stopped on 4th down twice, and now the Shermans get to the 32, stopped on downs. Back it goes to the Tigers, trailing by 2. We're in the 4th quarter. Unioto puts 5 people on the defensive line of scrimmage. Quick out to the right side and breaking a tackle. Got there very quickly and not able to pull him down, but he slowed things up, was Langhoff, the freshman. The Sherman's got good help, and that quick hitch pattern out to the right only going to pick up a couple yards.
Yeah, he picked up a couple yards right there. Nice job by Langhoff to just grab his leg and kind of hold on, because if he wouldn't have got him, you know, that could have been about a 15 or 20-yard play.
If he doesn't slow him down, then you get the guy wide open running, and it's tougher to bring him down, but he slowed him up and almost knocked him down and got a lot of help from his friends. 2nd down and 8. 3 receivers to the left side. They got a running back with Hansard. Hansard quick out to the right and complete for right away, a tackle by the Shermans on the quick out pattern. I believe that was
Ayers.
Complete to, number 2, Thompson Ayers. Harsha on the stop. Call it 3rd and 5 for the Tigers. Still plenty of time. We still have 10.5 minutes. We're just underway in the 4th quarter. 14-12, Unioto leads.
Greg, this is a big play. I don't think East would go for it.
I don't either. Not inside their
right here.
Not inside their own 40 in a 2-point ball game. You wouldn't think. You got 2 receivers to the left. They going to have the running back with Hansard. 3rd and 5. Hansard wants to throw. Looks. Now he's going to run with it. And he's sacked in the backfield for a loss.
Number 21, Jacob Renner.
And 57 on the help, too, Bryce Jarvis.
Big play by the Unioto defense. They step up again.
You know, interesting, and in Unioto I'm sure a little different defensively, but in the first half, every time Hansard took off, he kept looking.
That's right.
And he completed. At least 3 or 4 times in the second half, Jaron, he has looked and then taken off to run much quicker than he did in the first half. I don't know the difference in the defense.
The defensive ends in the first half for Unioto were staying really wide. They're not getting as wide this half and kind of keeping him in there. And Renner and Jarvis and company are getting their hands on him and brought him down now 2 times here in the second half.
East will punt the football, trailing by 2. It'll be the freshman Harsha back deep with the entry to Zikafus. High snap.
Delay game.
Yep. Yeah, I don't think they got it snapped in time, but every little bit of yardage at this point of the game is important, and that's going to move them back 5 yards.
Yeah, we are 9.5 minutes to go, Greg. I mean, a punt, if Unioto can take 6-7 minutes off the clock, I keep saying that, but if they can, you're looking at maybe only 1 or 2 more possessions for East.
5 yards back. Boy, the Shermans would love again, Harsha got the kickoff return to start the second half. It really helped. See if he can do something this time. Low kick. Harsha comes up and catches it at the 41. 50. Harsha inside East Territory to the 40. Harsha down the sidelines. 30 out of bounds near the 25.
Wow. The freshman has been the spark plug on the kick return and the punt return.
Big, huge. Two of the biggest plays of the second half is Braden Harsha, the freshman, his kickoff return to start the half and that punt return. A lot of confidence. He was full speed forward and caught that low kick on the move, and then he was off to the races. Great field position.
Listen, you're talking about a kid, and this is no knock on anybody else in the SVC. He didn't get a start and play a ton this year because he's a freshman. He probably starts everywhere else. He's showing his athletic ability. This might be his coming out moment right here for Unioto.
Now they're without Zikafus, who was injured at the end of the first half, and Harsha stepping up. Now Long goes in motion from the 25, 1st and 10. Braden straight ahead, 25, not a lot, falls forward maybe to the 23 or 22. You know, you've also, although it's 14 to 12, they don't have a kicker anyway, so if you got a field goal, it's 17 to 12, doesn't do you a lot of good.
Right, points, but points are points.
Points are points.
Yeah. Looks like we have an injury. I don't know if this is an injury or another cramp.
Another East player down. Let's take a timeout. Unioto looking to, if they could get this in the end zone, it would be huge. It's 14 to 12. Timeout on the field with an injured player. You're listening to the Tomlinson Insurance SVC Playoff Game of the Week.
You've been watching SVC Game of the Week, presented to you by Tomlinson Insurance.
Well, back at Unioto, each team, Unioto front, East got down, and on downs, Unioto moved down, and on 4th down didn't make it around the 30. They got East, Unioto defense got him on a 3 and out, forcing a punt. A great return by Braden Harsha, the freshman. Return of about 30-plus yards, maybe 35, and now they have 2nd down. Injured player did have a cramp for Columbus East. The Shermans with a 2nd and a long 7. Under center. 2nd man through to the right. Braden, 20. Got a block in front of him. 15. Inside the 15. Did a great job getting behind his blocker and following him down the field. Boy, nice job. Great job.
Glenn Stottridge.
Glenn Stottridge just kept it moving, and I'll tell you, Braden just put his hand on the back of Stottridge and followed him down the field for a 1st down. Great blocking by Stottridge.
We are, 1st down, and it looks like.
Goal to go, isn't it?
Well,
no, at the 11.
Yeah, they're at the 11. They can get a 1st down at the 1. If they can punch this in, Greg, that stretches it out to a 2-possession lead, and that would be huge.
Up under center, Coy from the 11. New set of downs for the Shermans. 2nd man through. Braden to the 10, falls to the 9. It's going to be 2nd down and about 8. Coy carried on out the play. Coy handed it off, but he faked it to run on out, something that the coaches can look at. And another fake handoff seemed to me, hey, what if we let Isaac keep it on a naked keep around the ends?
Isaac's been effective in those short yardage situations. He had the touchdown run earlier on, I think it was 3rd down and goal. And again, I think you saw Coach Hoops right there tell Isaac, slow down on the play calls here. Let that play clock run down. Snap that ball under 5 seconds.
2 receivers to the right side, 2nd and 8. They're inside the 10. They can get a 1st down at the 1. Coy under center again, I formation, pitches it. Braden cuts in at the 10. Not much there. Good defense by Columbus East. They got penetration. Looked like big number 52 to break in there. Keith Phillips, the linebacker. And they pitched it out. It was much like Zane Trace likes to run with Bryce Johnson. Pitch it to the guy deep, let him pick as he moves forward off right tackle, but a good stop to the 8. And it's going to be 7 yards to go, 3rd and 7. And again, Matthew's certainly well within his range. A field goal puts you up 17 to 12, but still only less in a 1-score game.
Yeah, the freshman Braden Harsha just checked back in the game for Luke Howard. He's 1-on-1 down here on the side closest to us.
Long goes in motion. They will run it again to Braden. Straight ahead. He
Touchdown!
breaks the tackle. Touchdown.
That is a big-time play, big-time blocks by the Unioto offensive line, stretching it out to an 8-point lead. This is a big extra point, too, here.
Yeah, 20-12, an 8-point lead. So Braden, officially, I believe it was 7 yards.
7 yards. 32 carries, 131 yards for the junior.
That surprised me. And I was when they first ran the ball up the middle, but again, they've been effective at times if he gets past that linebacker coming hard, and he was able to break it through, break a tackle, and then he went in standing up for the touchdown. Matthey's kick is up, and it is good.
9-point lead.
6:50 to play in the ball game. Unioto 21, Columbus East 12. You're listening to the Tomlinson Insurance SVC Playoff Game of the Week. Back with a kickoff in 30 seconds.
Our employees certainly get the credit for that growth. The relationships that they build, people want to deal with people they can trust, they know, feel connected to. And I think that's where a community bank such as Kingston really shines. The color of money is the same no matter where you go, but I think the people behind it is what makes the difference. Having the empathy to understand what's going on in someone's business or personal lives and how you might be able to help it. I think our customers expect that, want that, and truthfully, they deserve that.
You've been watching SVC Game of the Week, presented to you by Tomlinson Insurance.
Braden Harsha with two, and again, they lost their top speed guy on special teams wide receiver Jackson Zickafoose at the end of the half. The freshman Harsha returned the second half kickoff into East Territory inside their 40-yard line to set up a short drive. And then on the punt, Harsha returned it from about his own 40 down to the 25. They started that drive at the East 25-yard line. Two great special team plays by Unioto has been a big difference, setting them up here in the second half. Long kick down near the goal line, taken at the 2-yard line. Here comes East, out to the 10. Out to the 15, gets by one man, gets to the 20, and runs out of the sidelines. Good coverage by the Shermans.
We have a late penalty flag out here, Greg, about the 37-yard line. Not sure if we got a hold or a personal foul, but it was definitely away from the play.
Return out to the 24, and it is holding against East.
That's the one thing right now if you're Unioto. You got to keep your composure and keep your head. You don't want to start playing these silly games or, the extra hits at the end and give them extra yards. Play disciplined football.
6:43 left in the ball game. Now a 2-score lead, 21-12. Well, the other thing, if East does score, you would hope that they takes them a while to score, but they certainly are a quick strike offense. But they're going to start deep in their own territory after that penalty. Going to start inside their 15. And I would think that their quarterback, Hansard, is going to be taking those snaps and running around looking for guys to throw to. From the 14, they've got 86 yards to go for a touchdown. Hansard, he's got 5 wide receivers. Long jumps up in the gap. Looks like he's going to come and blitz. Hansard got time. Crossed the middle and dropped and then almost intercepted.
That went right through the East wide receiver's hands and almost hit Blake Braden right in the chest. He wasn't expecting the ball. If he was expecting it, that was an interception and possibly a pick six, as nobody was over here on the sideline closest to us.
Thompson Ayers came on a delay across the middle. It was right in his hands first for East. And again, that old adage, he tried to run before he caught it. It went right through his hands and then unexpectedly popped into the hands of Braden, the young Braden, and it'll be second down and 10. Clock stopped on the incomplete pass. Hansard by himself, back to pass, gets a little pressure, looks, throws down the right side, got a man, and he caught it. What a diving catch at the 42, first down. Great diving catch by the Tigers.
Flag, Greg. I see what it is. Pass interference.
The interference was against Unioto. It'll be declined. And they'll mark it at the 41. And again, with these orange numbers and white jerseys, and now that they're a little bit muddy, It's hard to tell, but that was a great catch.
It
might have
Royster.
been, yeah, it was either Royster or maybe Lindsey. Great catch. So that was the gain of about 35 yards. The line of scrimmage was back around the 15. They got out around the 40. New set of downs for the East Tigers. Still over 6 minutes to play. Back to pass. Hansard looking. Short pass over the middle, and he didn't get it to him. And now another late flag.
That looks like in the
That
spot
might be
for maybe
holding.
a holding.
Yeah, the one.
Chop block or chop below the.
Yeah, that's the second chop block called against Columbus East tonight.
I assume Coach Hoops will move them backwards. Yeah. Block below the waist. That's a 15-yard penalty. That's a big penalty right there.
Well, East had just hit that big pass play. They had a man open there about 10 yards over the middle, but Hansard was on his back foot. He didn't get anything on it.
I think right now, if I'm the D-line of Unioto, I'm not so worried about getting a sack. I think you just watch him. When he starts to throw it, if you can get your hands up in the air and tip the ball, you might cause some chaos.
So, new first down, but it's about 1st and 2 mile to go. They're all the way back inside their 25, right at the 25. Hansard back to pass. Little screen pass over the middle, incomplete. Nice defensive play. Busting that up again is Bryce Jarvis. Defensive lineman, he got out there, and he was kind of in the middle of everything and made it tough to complete. It'll be 2nd down and long. Line of scrimmage is the 26, their own 26, and they have to get the ball to midfield. So it is 2nd down and 27, I believe. I got to get to actually the 49 of Unioto for a first down. So 2nd and 27 for the Tigers. Clock again on all the incomplete passes will stop. Shermans lead it 21-12. They scored 2 touchdowns here in the second half to retake the lead. They've held East off the scoreboard. Hansard back to pass, 2nd and long. Looking now, he's going to scramble. Loses the football. It's on the ground.
I think Unioto recovered it.
He come from behind. He got hit from behind, lost it on the ground. It is recovered.
Bryce Jarvis.
Jarvis recovers it. And the Shermans with a big defensive play. Hansard tried to move forward, got hit from behind, and Jarvis fell on it, and the Shermans get the turnover. With 6:09, obviously if they can punch this in, that could really put the final nail in the coffin of the East Tigers. I think that's the first turnover, is it not, for the East tonight?
They threw the interception right at the end of the first half.
That's right, Zikafus when he got hurt.
Yeah. That's a big turnover. Unioto's getting the ball at the plus 24-yard line. 6 minutes to go. You know, Cody Braden, he's carried the ball 32 times. I expect you're going to see him carry it almost every time right here also.
21-7. Sherman's at the 24. Their last touchdown was a 25-yard drive. Braden looking, scrambles off to his left, now pushed back. Going to get a couple. But
let him go. That should be it. There we go. Yep. That's what I'm talking about. You got to keep your composure, stay poised, and play disciplined football. That's what East will do. They're losing. They're starting to lose their composure. A couple 15-yard penalties. Unioto doesn't need to play that game.
Yeah, 52. Just he wouldn't let go. Braden was stopped.
Yes.
And
the whistle blew about 2 or 3 seconds before he threw him down.
They didn't let go of Cody, and then he threw him down after the whistle. A 15-yard penalty, or maybe inside the 30, be half the distance. Well, I'll tell you, it's a field position here that Unioto has not had to drive far for their scores. They started on the plus 43-yard drive at first touchdown because of the Harsha kickoff return. Second touchdown began at the East 25-yard line after Harsha's punt return. And then now the fumble recovery starts them at the 24. A penalty moves it further down. A new set of downs for the Shermans, and they are inside the 15-yard line of Columbus East, already up 21-12.
Yep, keep that clock rolling. Nice job by Coy right here, having some patience. You're in no hurry.
In the pistol, man in motion is Welch, and they give it to Braden. Braden straight ahead, not much room. I don't think he got anything that time.
No, he didn't get anything.
2nd down and 10. Line of scrimmage was actually, I said inside the 15. It was around the 12. They didn't get anything on that, so it'll be 2nd and 10. They can get a first down around the 2. And the Shermans, of course, will take their time. Still 20 seconds on the play clock, and there should be under 5 minutes left in the ball game when they run the second down play.
Yeah, for sure. And, you're doing the right thing right here. You have to run the football. You have to keep that clock moving. It's a 2-possession game. Take as much time off the clock as you can.
They're running it all the way down, man in motion. They give it to Brayton to the 10, Brayton to the 5, and knocked down there, and it'll be shy of the first down, but another good pickup for Cody Brayton. Boy, he's been a workhorse tonight. He's going to sleep well tonight, and many times as he's running the football.
35 carries. 138 yards for Cody Brayton.
They say he went down at the 6. They need to get to the 2 for a first down. It'll be third down. And we're down to 4.5 minutes left in the game. Now a field goal adds on. I think it would take it now possibly if they.
Greg, I think I would almost.
Well, they got 2 plays to make it.
Yeah, because if they don't get it, that means East has got to go 90-some yards. I could be wrong.
Long moves over. They put the man in motion. They'll pitch it to the man in motion around the corner to the 5. Oh, wow, what a hit. Beam took a hit, and I mean a big-time hit.
He bounced right back up, though.
Oh, man. Came around the corner, taken down inside the 4 at about the 3.5. Going to be fourth down Unioto, and they've got about 1.5 yards to go on fourth down. They'll let the clock run. Clock should be, well, now he went out of bounds, so the clock stopped. 4 minutes to play in the game. Unioto up 21-12.
Yeah,
just as he turned the corner, East came flying up, and
that was a big-time hit.
It was a big-time hit. As you said, Beam, Eli jumped right up. Here we go, fourth down, about 1.5 yards. In the pistol, Coy goes in motion, and I think they wanted to try to draw East off sides and did not. They'll take the timeout instead. Timeout on the field. Unioto takes the timeout, 3:54, and they might go back. I don't know if the clock should go back to 4 minutes. Yeah. 21-12, Sherman's lead. Let's take a quick 30-second timeout. It's the Tomlinson Insurance Playoff Game of the Week, back in 30.
Ready to transform your entire lawn? Call Greenwald Lawn and Landscape. Just need a quick mow? Call Greenwald Lawn and Landscape. Driveway full of snow? Call Greenwald Lawn and Landscape. Greenwald Lawn and Landscape provides expert lawn care, landscaping, and snow removal services for year-round property maintenance. Call the experts at Greenwald, 740-701-6744. Greenwald Lawn and Landscape, a proud sponsor of SVC Sports.
You've been watching SVC Game of the Week, presented to you by Tomlinson Insurance.
Well, I got a note here. Thanks to buddy Gene Carfrey, and Jackson scored with 30 seconds left in the game. And a final, they come from behind and beat Miami Trace 24-21. What a heartbreaker.
Wow.
Back, fourth down for the Shermans. Under center, Braden. No, Coy's going to keep it. Rolls to his left. He's got trouble. Gets by 1, gets by 2, and now he's pulled down.
He might have the first down, Greg. He might have the first down.
He was caught in the backfield, got loose from the first guy. From the second, was able to fall forward, and it's going to come down to a measurement, I think.
The naked bootleg.
Well, the Unioto's saying it's first down. A couple of the East players say we stopped him. It's right on the money, and they'll bring in the chains to measure. So they went for it on fourth down. If you, as Jaron said, if it's short, then you got 98 yards for East to go, and it's a 2-score game under 4 minutes to play. If it is a first down, it might be that final nail in the coffin for Columbus East.
I think they got it. No.
They stretch the chains out, and it
just
is
short.
just short.
Just short.
So East will take over, getting the stop. They ran the fake, kept it. Coy, he did a great job. It looked like he was going to lose 5 yards. He got away from the first defender, and then the second defender got a hold of him. He was able to fall forward and just shy of the first down. So 21-12, under 4 minutes to play. East needs 2 scores in 3:50, and they're down and they're on their own, about their own 2-yard line.
Yeah, you keep doing what you've been doing in the second half. You know, you haven't allowed East to score a touchdown, score a point, you know, but the main thing is right now you don't want them to hit a home run. You're okay with 10 and 15-yard plays if it takes them 8-9 plays to get down the field. You have to make them take some time off the clock if they're going to score.
The back net. So Jackson scoring 30 seconds to come back and beat Miami Trace. Boy, I thought that would be a dandy. Here we go from the 2-yard line. Hansard looking to throw. Looks, throws back to the right side out of the backfield. Had a man open, but he was short. Hansard threw the ball a lot better in the first half. And I say that because Unioto certainly changed up on some things. But And again, I think Jaron had the point. There again, he wasn't rolling out, but he was leaning to his left, throwing back to his right. And that's hard to do, especially when you're a sophomore.
Yep. 18 to 35 for Hansard tonight. He's got 289 yards passing.
Clock will stop on the incomplete pass. 3:45 left in the game. 21-12 Unioto. The Tigers just outside their own 2-yard line. Now they'll keep a running back in the pistol room beside the quarterback, Dior Hansard. And put a man in motion. Hansard back to pass. Looking deep over the middle, and he's got a man. Did he hang on to it? Incomplete. Coming up, making the stop.
Jack Weingardner.
Weingardner made the hit. Had to throw it high in the air. It could have been Lindsey that went up for it. But Weingardner got there, made contact, incomplete pass, and it's 3rd down and 10.
Obviously, the East is going to have to go for it, right? So, these 2 downs could be the game.
Big 3rd and 10. They send 4 receivers to the left side as they've done a lot tonight. Hansard takes the snap. Hansard straight back, deep in his own end zone. Throws it deep down the right side. Got a man. Did he catch it?
Braden
Knocked
Harsha.
away.
Braden Harsha. Wow.
Knocks it away. Had about a half step, but Harsha stayed with him pretty well. And enough contact on the ball to knock it down. It's 4th and 10. And now, you said, you go for it. If you don't make it, it's probably all over anyway. But Unioto then, I think there's a flag down.
Oh, there is a penalty flag. Let's see what the penalty is. Oh.
Wow, big penalty. It's going to be 4th and long.
Oh, man. That one hurts.
That was Daquan James trying to put pressure, called for hands to the face. So it'll bring the ball 10-yard penalty, but an automatic 1st down. It'll bring it out to the 12, 13-yard line, and East has new life down to 3.5 minutes. Of course, all these incomplete passes, not a lot of time running off the clock. New set of downs. Hansard looking over the middle, got his man complete, and down at the 27. Tell you what, this game, it's going to get a little foggy here late this evening. See some fog moving on the field right now. That's another 1st down on a quick pass over the middle. They'll go without a huddle out across the 25 to the 27. New set of downs for the Tigers. Hansard looking, scrambling. Scrambles to his right, got room, throws to the last second, and it is knocked away.
Oh,
tough call.
Oh, man. I did not like that call at all. Blake Braden went up to make a play on it. And, of course, it's on the far sideline. It looked like he just went up and hit the ball, but the official is going to call pass interference.
Yeah, it looked like, and again, far side of the field, but I agree with Jaron from our vantage point. And, of course, we're here covering the Shermans. I thought that was a pretty good defensive play by the Shermans. Both guys were going for the ball, and the only thing he could have called on Unioto was if that back arm was around his waist, but because the free arm for the Sherman defender got a hand on it and knocked it out. Well, they're going to bring the ball back to the 42, but it'll be a new set of downs. 1st down for Columbus East.
So this drive's only been like 50 seconds so far.
It's still over 3 minutes.
40 yards.
4 receivers to the left side. Dior Hansard. I'd hate to play these guys next year. This guy's got 2 more years to play quarterback. Hansard scrambles, pressure on him. Now running, gets away from one. Scrambling to his left, still running. Leaves it way down the field, incomplete. Had 2 receivers, good coverage. Back deep was Harsha.
Jacob Renner is all over Hansard. He just cannot bring him down. Hansard is so good with his feet, avoiding the pass rush by Unioto.
Well, back to 42. So a couple of the Shermans are
Bryce Jarvis
bent over. Yeah, I mean they've been chasing Hansard here for about a half hour. Even though there's still 3 minutes to play in the ball game. 21-12, 9-point advantage. for the Shermans. You want, even if the East scores, you want them to run as much time as possible.
That play was 10 seconds right there, Greg.
Incomplete pass, 2nd down and 10. Now they got a running back. Hanser back to pass, looking, going to throw a screen pass out to the left side, and it is incomplete. I don't think that was a backwards pass.
I don't think so either. That was good recognition by Luke Howard right there.
Yeah,
Stayed in a straight line and really made Hanser throw it where he didn't want to.
Perfect description, Jaron. That's exactly. Luke Howard didn't get a hand on the ball, but he got in the way of that screen little swing pass, and it forced Hanser to throw the ball further backwards than he wanted to, incomplete. 3rd down and 10. Here we go again. They had a 4th and 10 a moment ago, and the Shermans had a hands to the face penalty that gave the Tigers a 1st down. Now they got 3rd and 10. 3 receivers to the left. Hanser, here we go again. Looking, scrambles to his right, being chased, throws the ball to the sideline, just threw it away. Good pressure again from Bryce Jarvis. Well, a lot of these guys
Jarvis,
he's going to sleep well tonight, too.
Every play.
He's going to sleep well tonight, too.
If Unioto wins this football game, Bryce Jarvis and Jacob Renner, I don't know how many sacks they have, but they got their exercise in tonight. They have been chasing Hanser all over the backfield.
Not a lot of sacks, but they've had so many pressures. That was a pressure, and the guy had to throw the ball out of bounds. Here we go, another 4th down. 2:47 still on the clock.
East only has 1 timeout left, Greg.
4 receivers to the left on 4th and 10. Single receiver to the right. See if they try to get it over the middle again. Back, Hanser looking, throws it deep down over the middle. He's got a man and a defender intercepted by the Shermans.
Jack Weingardner.
Weingardner back across midfield and down, and that should do it for the Shermans. They had to throw it. Hanser threw it deep down the middle. And one thing we've talked a lot about, the Shermans have played deep, and they weren't going to get beat deep there on 4th and 10. The ball was kind of up in the air and a little bit short of the receiver, and Weingardner picks it off. Well, you go back and think about what Jaron said earlier. Zikafus injured at the end of the first half. And a lot of the second half, you've had 3 freshmen in the defensive backfield for the Shermans. Give them credit.
Yeah, I'll tell you, man, Braden Harshen has had a heck of a second half. Not just defensively, special teams, the kickoff return to start the second half, the punt return. He broke up a big pass play.
2:35. Can the Shermans run the clock out here? Coy gives it to Braden. Line of scrimmage is the 47. He's taken down immediately. They don't care. Get that clock running. And again, as Jaron said, I think East only has 1 timeout remaining.
Yeah, they took the 2 timeouts early in the second half, Greg, that cost them.
I don't want to get too – I'm not one for getting too wild on my comments, but I'll tell you what. And this is there's probably not a better team win than if Shermans get this
Absolutely.
a team win. Braden Harsha, he's listed 6'1", 165. He's a freshman.
Right.
If he grows an inch or two and puts on 20 more pounds and keeps that speed, he's going to be hard to contend with, and he could play at the next level. I'll tell you what, if he continues to grow and keeps that speed. Coy's going to run it himself, stays in bounds. Good tackle by the Tigers. And now one of the Shermans falls down over the pile late. Only about a yard on the carry by Isaac Coy, but they'll keep the clock running. Down under a minute 35. I don't think East is even going to call timeout. Down 21-12.
I'll tell you what. I don't want to say this too early, but I'm really happy for Matt Hoops right now. Really happy.
But then again, they had to make some. Well, one of the things you adjust. Zikafus is one of their.
Yes.
Man,
he's their playmaker.
He's their playmaker. He makes the engine go here a lot of time. I mean, they got a lot of talent. But defensively, they've really recovered well. They're going to run it. Now, Coy wants to throw. Why in the world are they throwing
Harsha.
it down the middle to Harsha, and he can't hang on? Why would you throw the ball?
Not sure.
You mean all you got to do is, well, I mean, you're up, but why would you throw the ball there? I have no idea. Incomplete. You stopped the clock. Could have been intercepted. 58.7. Wow. And you could have run the clock well under 30 seconds and punted the ball, and I'm not sure.
Bare minimum made East use their last time out.
No, I'm not sure. Isaac Coy's on the sidelines, and he's walking over to the bench. And I think he's talking to one of his coaches and putting his arm up again. I don't know. Anyway, now they snap it over the punter's head.
Dive
a bad
on it,
snap.
David. Dive on it.
Long will just fall on it. And again, I'm not in charge, but Jaron, that's why you don't throw the ball.
That's exactly right. You know, maybe there's still 52.9 seconds
well,
left.
There's an onside kick too,
right,
you know.
But they wouldn't have a timeout left. .9 seconds. Still a 2-possession game here, 21-12.
I'm making my notes out. It'll actually go down as down on losing the ball and turnover on downs, but the bad snap over Long's head back to the 23-yard line. And East will get the ball to Unioto 23, just under a minute to play. And they go to the pistol with the quarterback Hansard. Hansard back to pass. Got pressure and he gets away. Won't get away from the second guy.
57, that's going to be Bryce Jarvis. Had him the first time. Then I believe that's Luke Howard. Yeah, Luke Howard gets him, and that's going to cause East to use their last timeout. That is a huge sack, Greg. That's a 20-yard loss right there, I believe.
42 seconds left in the ball game. Still 21-12, and you say, hey, don't get too, but you never know what's going to happen in a ball game. And again, I guess if you throw the ball to harshest score, but you don't need a touchdown. You're up 2 scores. I'm going to harp on it and I'll get off of it, but I just didn't understand the call. Yeah. You run it.
You run the clock.
And you run the clock. The clock goes well under 30 seconds. Maybe you punt the ball with 20 seconds, up 2 scores. Now, you're still up 2 scores, but all of a sudden a bad snap, they get the ball inside your 25, and things could get hairy if possibly. It's never over till it's over, as Yogi said.
You know, Unioto defense has really stepped up.
That was
tonight,
that was a big sack. Any little bit of momentum that East kind of thought about there, that sack helps out. 44 seconds. Answered the quarterback. Second and very long. Back to pass. Throws over the middle and dropped. Not a bad pass. He just couldn't quite reach for it. His receivers haven't helped him a lot the second half.
Yeah. It's almost like they've just been like a half second off. You know, maybe it throws a little bit ahead of them, a little bit behind them, and it's hitting one hand, but they're not pulling it in with both of them. And like you said, he's not gotten a ton of help, but you know,
still at the 39. It'll be third down. Pass was intended for Royster. He couldn't got a hand on it.
Jackson Zikafus has just showed back up on the golf cart down here, hoping to celebrate with his team. He's got his arm in a sling right now.
Oh, it'll be third and long. Hansard standing on his 45, looks, throws to the sidelines, got a man, and he drops the ball. Boy, East has really fallen apart here.
They're trying to run before they catch the ball. You've said it 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, they have. That was complete. Going to be about a 10-yard completion, but he could have ran about 5 more. It would have got you into a fourth down and maybe 10. Now it's fourth and about 25. 34.6 seconds remain. I don't. Give me one reason why Hansard was able to run around and complete passes and be elusive. In the second half, he's had 3 or 4 pressures, throw it away, and sacked 2 or 3 times. Is Unioto rushing more people? Is East line getting tired?
I think that's part of it. The Unioto's defensive line is getting in there quicker. But see how they're like all staying right there in the middle, Greg, just like that play. Not we didn't get to talk that. They're staying in the middle and not getting wide and leaving those gaps open for him to run and see down the field.
Incomplete pass there. He had to throw it over the middle, incomplete. I tell you, East only has about 30 kids, and a couple of them are bent over. I give them all the credit in the world. This is a pretty good football team, and they haven't been able to score in the second half.
That was fourth down, Greg.
That was fourth down, incomplete as we were talking. So
about that.
will be the game. Well, I brought it up. I wanted to know why Unioto had just gotten so much more pressure. So now all you got to do is take a knee in victory formation, kneel one time, and the Shermans are going to go to week 13. They'll play the winner of New Lux Fairfield Union. We haven't gotten a score on that. The snap to Isaac Coy, and that'll do it. The Shermans jumping up in the air. They're an excited bunch, and a lot of hugs at the middle of the field. I think a lot of respect gained for both these teams tonight here at Unioto. Final score, the Shermans advance in the Division IV playoffs. Unioto 21, Columbus East 12. Jaron and I will be back to wrap it up. The Tomlinson Insurance SVC Playoff Game of the Week.
Learn to drive with confidence at Legacy Driver In-Person Training School in Jackson, Ohio. Teen or adult lessons, we have you covered. Call 740-418-0930 for all your driving school needs today.
Integrity. It's a small word with a big meaning, and it's one we hold dear at Ross County Banking Center. That means we work hard every day to do what's right, even when no one's looking. We treat people the way we want to be treated, volunteer in our communities, and keep a watchful eye to safeguard our customers. At Ross County Banking Center, we strive to do that better every day. Find more information on our website, vcnbfamily.bank, or visit one of our physical locations. Member FDIC.
It takes determination to create a successful business. It's never easy, but always worth it. It takes making a leap of faith. It takes patience and late nights to reinvest in a startup. But it also takes asking for guidance from dependable people. All to turn a dream into a reality. People's Bank. Working together, building success.
Ready to transform your entire lawn? Call Greenwald Lawn and Landscape. Just need a quick mow? Call Greenwald Lawn and Landscape. Driveway full of snow? Call Greenwald Lawn and Landscape. Greenwald Lawn and Landscape provides expert lawn care, landscaping, and snow removal services for year-round property maintenance. Call the experts at Greenwald 740-701-6744. Greenwald Lawn and Landscape, a proud sponsor of SVC Sports.
You've been watching SVC Game of the Week, presented to you by Tomlinson Insurance.
Craving something unique and delicious? Swing by the Lunchbox and Chill Coffee, home of the famous pretzel sandwich. You'll love our all-day breakfast favorites, from hearty breakfast croissants to sausage gravy and omelet. And don't miss our fresh lemonade shake-ups, perfect to sip alongside any meal. Sink your teeth into our signature pretzel sandwiches like the savory Italian, loaded turkey club, or mouth-watering Reuben. We are right downtown at 24 East Water Street, ready for dine-in or quick carry-out.
Integrity. It's a small word.
You've been watching SVC Game of the Week, presented to you by Tomlinson Insurance.
Today at your local Chill Coffee or Waverly McDonald's or McHire.com. We'd love to have you on the team.
I'm loving it.
Back with you to wrap this one up. Thanks to Vanessa, almost called her Vanessa Doyle, but Vanessa George doing a great job. And actually, her and Jaron got us hooked up so we can hear things tonight even better. But thank you for that and all of our sponsors. This was a good football game. A playoff win for the Unioto Shermans. They advance another week. They got a bye last week. They advance on. They play the winner, and we'll see if we can find a score. That New Lex Fairfield Union score, that's who they will face the winner of. It'll be a neutral site. And I'm even wondering if it could possibly, if it was New Lex, maybe a Logan, because I got the turf, AstroTurf field, and kind of be different. But we'll worry about that. I'm sure we'll find out soon enough. Final score, 21-12. East came back with 2 second-quarter touchdowns, led 12-7 at the half. And in my opinion, it's probably one of the best team wins I've seen all year from a team. So many people chipped in for the Unioto Shermans. They talk about being brothers and playing for each other. They got a lot of seniors. That was so evident in their win tonight. But they had 2 huge plays. They lost one of their top players, Jackson Zickafoos, and Braden Harsher, the freshman, came and returned the second half kickoff past midfield down inside the 40. And as I look, I think it wound up being He started at the 43, so he returned it all the way to the 43. It was a 43-yard touchdown drive. Unioto retook the lead 14-12, back and forth a few times, and then Harsha had a punt return down to the east 25-yard line. Both teams got stuck around the 30 2 or 3 times, couldn't get it in, but then that other return, special teams for Harsha, set up a 25-yard field for the Shermans. They were able to drive at the 25 yards. Braden with the touchdown. Coy had their other score in the second half. That gave them a 2-score lead with 6:50 left in the game, 21-12, and that's how we wind up. Stat-wise, some tired young men, but boy, I tell you, how many carries did Braden have?
Boy, Cody Braden deserves a day off tomorrow. First of all, Unioto 227 yards of total offense. Cody Braden, 36 carries for 138 yards. David Long, 2 carries for 5 yards. Isaac Coy, 5 carries for 12 yards. Cody Braden had 2 rushing touchdowns. Isaac Coy had 1 rushing touchdown. Throwing the football for Unioto, Isaac Coy, 9 of 15 for 72 yards, 1 interception. Catching the football for Unioto, only had 2 guys catch a pass tonight. Levi Beam, he had a really big catch on second or third and long down here. One of his best games of the year, 6 catches for 53 yards and 2 catches for 19 yards for David Long. He had a big catch right there in the first half also. Penalties for Unioto, 8 penalties for 70 yards, and had them down for 12 first downs on the game. I'll come back to Unioto here in a minute. You flip over to Columbus East, 330 total yards for Columbus East. Running the football, not a lot, right? You know, they threw the ball, that would be 44 times. 44 times that they threw the football. So they only ran the ball, that'd be 11 times. And they only had 28 yards of rushing, and just not much there running the ball. That's what we said. We made the comment earlier in the game. If East ran the ball, that was a win for Unioto. Throwing the football, their quarterback Dior Hansard, like we said, threw the ball 44 times, 302 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. I think it's worth noting that in the second half, his numbers were a lot worse than the first half. A lot of incompletions as I look at my sheet. Receiving the football, Tajon Royster, huge game for the Tigers. 8 catches, 139 yards. Daquan Lindsay, 2 catches for 33 yards. Darian Matlock, 4 catches for 30 yards. Dominique Edwards, 2 catches for 29 yards. Kenyon Downing, 2 catches for 57 yards. And Michael Thompson Ayers, 2 catches for 16 yards. 6 penalties for the Tigers for 65 yards. And 11 first downs for Columbus East. So, just kind of going through the game here. First of all, it doesn't look good for Jackson Zickafoose returning, right? We got it may be a collarbone, maybe not 100% sure, but his arm's in a sling right now. But, and this is a big thing right here. Even without Zickafoose in the second half, the Unioto defense stepped up and did not allow a single point. They kind of took the motto of bend but don't break, that East kind of moved the ball between the 20s and the 30s. Big plays by Braden Harsha, the interception by Jack Weingartner, 57 and 21, Renner and Jarvis all over their quarterback all night long, chasing them down. Monster games from those two. But you got to give credit to the Unioto defense. Averaging only giving up 4 points per game all year long. 13 was the most they'd given up. East had 12 at halftime. You hold them scoreless in the second half without your best defensive back, your best playmaker on offense, your punt returner, your kick returner. And I think you hit the nail on the head, Greg, that it was just a great team win. And I know I said it a couple minutes ago while the game was still on. I'm so happy for Matt Hoops right now. You feel like the monkey's been lifted off his back. Everybody's been all over Unioto. Oh, yeah, they're running through the league. They can't win a playoff game. They did that, okay? Now what? He's done a tremendous job in his time here of turning this football program around, and this is the next step for them. And, I think you just showed me a final score. I don't remember exactly what it was.
39-0.
New Lexington. That's who they're going to play next week. And, what is they're down to 4 teams?
Yeah,
Four
there'll be
teams
4
left
teams in the region.
15.
It'll be New Lex, Unioto, and then Indian Valley beating Circleville would be in the other bracket. I can't remember who else was in that bracket, but yes. But it would be New Lex. They'll have a neutral site. Again, we'll probably find out in a day or so. But one of my guesses would be Logan. It's a great facility. It was kind of between the two schools. But we shall see. It's a neutral site. And you said Unioto won a playoff game. They're in the regional semifinals against New Lex next week. And I said it. You said it. And tell the folks one more time. I'm not sure I've seen a better team win. And we could just start name after name after name. This was a team win. Certainly a brotherhood here, and I think you're right. You made a comment that those guys come out the second half. Now, maybe Coach Hoops or some more of the coaches said something to them that got them going, but I also really think you made a point. They're such a brotherhood and close to each other. I think part of the fact was let's go out for Zikafu, Jackson's hurt, and let's come out and show what we can do. And they had freshmen step up. Their defensive line, you talked about Jarvis all night long, Luke Howard, those guys. Harsha with really 2 of the key plays on a kickoff return, a punt return, set up short fields for their 2 second-half touchdowns. I could go on and on. Right. As a great team win. It
absolutely was. And, you feel so good. You see all the Unioto players, the families, they're still out here kind of celebrating. And you know what? They deserve to, right? They deserve to. 4 teams left in Region 15, and here we are in Ross County. We've got one of them with the Unioto Shermans, and we're gonna keep following them. So
we'll be there.
Yep.
Figure out where we're going, and hopefully we'll be there next week for that regional semifinal again in the neutral field, and we shall probably find out. I guess you would know by Sunday where that would be held. Well, Jaron, a great game, a great job tonight. It was exciting. It was a great game, and again, give Columbus East credit. Those 29-30 guys. They played their hearts out. They've got several sophomores, and that's a team that are going to win some games next year as well. But my hat's off to the performance tonight for the Columbus East Tigers out of the Columbus City League. Great performance. 2 second-half touchdowns for the Unioto Shermans. They come from behind at the half, and the final score 21-12. Another thank you to Vanessa George, all of our great sponsors, allow us to bring you coverage of the Tomlinson Insurance Game of the Week. Tomlinson Insurance, your local McDonald's. Ross County Banking Center, Chillicothe Signs and Screen Printing, Greenwald Lawn and Landscape, The Lunchbox, Recreations, Kingston National Bank, Monroe's Collision, and we got a T-shirt here somewhere.
Yeah, we do.
And that's got to go to Zikafoos.
Yeah, he's out of midfield right now. I might go try to catch him.
We'll send Jaron out inside to catch him because he had 2 huge hits in that game for the Unioto Shermans and Monroe's Collision. And, again, quality heat and air of Bainbridge. Join us next week. More playoff action. We'll follow the Shermans one more week. They face the New Lex Panthers next Friday night, and hopefully we'll have that for you here on 100.9 Hank FM WXIZ. Until then, everyone have a great, safe weekend, and we'll see you next week. Good night, everybody.
Thank you for watching SVC Game of the Week, presented to you by Tomlinson Insurance.